if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You heard all about it on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball! Can't knock the hustle.
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. Doing the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah! What's up, buddies?
Shot out of a butt cannon. Rich Davis. Rich Davis, everybody. The Chili Pepper. Covino and Rich. Spotty's here. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you had a great Monday night. A Juan Soto sort of Monday night. Or maybe you became a household name. Like Julio Rodriguez, like J-Rod sort of Monday night.
Yeah.
Guy was breaking records last night.
Well, hey, shot out of butt cannons on a Taco Tuesday.
We rock it out.
Let's go! You know, if I was a smart man, I would listen to Kevin Cederholm because last week.
Does he live in a
week-
sauna? Get it? He lives in a sauna?
Yeah,
Cedar Home, get it?
yeah, it's Cedar. Yeah, I do get it. He hit me up. Where was it? Why do I have him in my phone as Dildo Baggins? Probably right.
Yeah. The artist formerly known as Dildo Baggins.
The artist formerly known as Dildo Baggins, Kevin Cederholm, hit me up last week, and he goes, Julio Rodriguez versus Griffey Jr. through their first 80 games, and it's almost like identical. Oh, yeah, here it is. Identical through their first 79 games. And he's like, this guy is so under the radar, it's unbelievable. And I was like, that's cool.
Well, last night,
Dildo.
as they say, was his coming out party.
Well.
And entering last night, there had been only 4 30 home run rounds in the home run derby. There had only been 4 30 home run rounds in home run derby. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jacques Peterson, Pete Alonso, and Juan Soto. Julio Rodriguez had 2 of them last night.
Guy's unbelievable.
So put that in perspective.
I mean, I was there. He just has a swing design. You could just see the stroke on TV or there. Like, the ball was just, I don't know how to describe it. They weren't your typical home runs. He just was hitting
bombs?
bombs, but with little effort, it seemed. Like, I feel like he's the guy that's going to hit home runs in batting practice where the kids go crazy because he just has that swing, an effortless swing that just goes 370
and he's
every
only,
time.
what, 21 years old? He's a young guy. So another spectacle last night. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll save this conversation for Fox Sports Radio. We're on later tonight. A nighttime show, 4 to 7 on the West, 7 to 10 on the East. We're in for the Odd Couple later today, Covino and Rich.
Zito and I lucked out. I went with Mark Zito last night, and the row we were in, our seats were, let's say, row H. The seat we were in was the last seat that was totally exposed to the sun. And it was 100 degrees in Southern California yesterday. And we moved like a couple rows back, and we're like, we'll go back in the sun when someone gets there. No one ever came. And by the time the sun, then the sun moves and we were all good. But for a minute, I was like, oh no, because it was scorching. The EMTs came and carried a guy out 5 rows ahead of us. The guy was wearing a hoodie. Must have been stupid. But who wears a hoodie in 100-degree weather to a ball game?
Black dudes.
It was a black guy.
Yeah. Black dudes and teenage girls.
He was wearing a hoodie, and he was like all like fainting, and everyone's like, yo, get this guy help. EMTs carried him out.
I only say that because, well, I see it.
Yeah,
but
it's observation.
There was a funny TikTok video I saw the other day of like some guy stepping out of his house. Some black dude steps out of his house, and it's like super hot, and he's sweating, and you see his face tripping. And you see some other black dude walking down the street with his jeans on, like his slides and his hoodie. And he's like, he's like, what is he wearing? It's 110 degrees out. How does he pull that off? And he has like the mask over his face and everything. Mm-hmm. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that spectacle last night. Congratulations to Juan Soto. He was very hot last night. Juan Soto proving, again, his value. and that
It
he
was-
knows his worth.
I mean,
He's
it was
the guy that
perfect
turned
timing.
down, $500 million.
It was perfect timing for this guy to win the home run derby because the narrative was this guy turned down the equivalent of a Mega Millions or Powerball jackpot, but we got it. We understand because he is probably worth more than that. You might say that's wild and crazy, but if you compare him to other people in the league, yeah, he probably is worth more than that. So to win the home run derby was sort of like a good fuck you exclamation point on anyone that's like, what is he doing?
Oh, yeah. He stepped up at the perfect time on the biggest stage, or should I say a very big stage, and delivered last night. But they offered him $29 million a year spread out for 15 years. And that's low for what he's worth in today's market, in today's game. So big win for him. Julio Rodriguez put on a show. Rich was there. He was hot.
He's got it.
There he is.
It was hot.
Hold on, I'm seeing this for the first time.
Juan Soto is your 2022 Home Run Derby champion.
Look at Starling Marte in there with all the Nationals being like, come to the Mets, come to the Mets. It's not his choice. He's not a free agent, but the whole joke last night on social media was also Pete Alonso and Starling Marte. Like, hey, Soto. Like, the Mets are one of the suitors for a trade, but,
I imagine he was getting that the
From everybody.
entire day from everyone. So congratulations to him. He's a big star, superstar. And today is All-Star Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys for all your votes. League leader at SiriusXM in
Yeah.
All-Star votes, Steve Covino. Thanks again. It's an honor to be a SiriusXM All-Star and get your votes here on Patreon as well. I appreciate that.
yeah, all-star Steve Covino.
So it's an honor to be the captain of the All-Star team.
I did pull a Covino yesterday, I will say. I pulled the Steve Covino, and it was probably the best move I pulled. We left
I
the
don't know
home
what that
run.
means.
We left the home run derby early.
Oh. I
But-
thought pulling a Steve Covino was leaving the living room out of respect to let one rip.
Oh.
And then you let one rip, and then your significant other yells at you and complains anyway that you let one rip. I'm like, but I got up.
If I knew you were going to hear it or smell it, I would have just stayed right here. I heard that anyway.
And I'm like,
But isn't it more about
What is? You're
see,
disgusting.
but the Steve Covino meaning I was trying to still be respectful, but I still get flack for it.
isn't it more about the odor than the sound?
I don't know, but I let one rip so
Yeah.
bad yesterday. Like I got up, went into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom, put the fan on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
And your bathroom?
I still heard that.
Wait, hold on.
Was that real?
Hallway bathroom or bathroom or bedroom bathroom?
Hallway bathroom. She's like, it echoes in here.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but no, it was more of like a very hard, like
Know what I?
it had a little like, but the,
Like this? Or longer?
Yeah.
It was more of like a French horn.
it was a strong one.
A French
yeah.
horn than a.
But it's not about farting. The point is, I
like
tried
this?
to be respectful, but I didn't get away with it anyway. So when you say you pulled a Steve Covino, I thought maybe that's what
Just
you
tell
meant.
her you
Because that
were,
happened yesterday.
Just tell you were giving some shout outs.
It's
Shout outs
embarrassing, though.
to
She's like,
Jason Nichols.
You're turning red.
Shout out to Chris Frey and Andrew Hart. I'm just giving shout outs, babe. I will say in the shout out game, Sarah and I still try to keep it fresh and try not to be gross in front of each other.
Yeah.
So, we're not like, hey, Sarah.
That's what I was trying to prevent.
But my kids are the cockblocks in multiple ways. Wanting to sleep in the bed. And Emmy's the type that if I'm like, hey, Emmy, come over here, buddy. And we're watching TV. And I'm like, little quick fart. Like, Dad, you farted. I'm like, shut up. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, that's got to stop.
Don't be talking about my farts.
I
you
rip
farted.
freely in front of my 12-year-old.
You're a farthead.
She must think I'm a mutant of sorts.
Dad,
But again,
you're gross.
you pulled a Steve Covino.
I pulled a Steve Covino and I left early. But I guess it wasn't a true Steve Covino because nothing spectacular happened after I left. Mark Zito and I went there. I had one of the tall bad boys. It was like a golden something. It was a golden ale. I had a nice big beer. It was nice, refreshing. Then I had
a Golden Road mango cart.
it wasn't mango flavor, but it was a Golden Road something. It wasn't
Summer
something.
Summer sunshine
Butthole Sun. Then I had a big ass Bud Light seltzer,
Sun
black
taint.
cherry they had there, which by the way, really cheap. They were $22 each. Oh, fucking kidding! Around the drinks. Yo, Zito, I got this one. $44 later.
I really can't feel bad about you sitting in the sun paying for $20 drinks when I was the one that wanted to go to the home run derby in the first place.
The one
So-
you mean the event that you labeled on national sports radio as the greatest event in
The
sports?
one that I was like, yo, bro, we gotta go. It's in LA. Boy, this guy goes.
the greatest event in sports.
Didn't even care. And that's pulling a Steve Covino in a nutshell. Here's a guy fighting for a job, and they're going to give it to a dude who doesn't even want it. Here's a guy screaming and shouting about it. It's the only event he wants to go to, and Rich goes and he's complaining about how hot it is.
I'm not allowed to say it was hot,
just
or
saying-
I'm not allowed to say the drinks were
Perspective.
$22.
You're the first guy that says if I'm having a bad hair day, I can't talk about it because there's bald fucks everywhere. Or if I'm
Bald fucks.
tired from working, like I can't talk about
You
it
hear
because
that, bald
everyone,
fucks?
everyone's there is, swinging hammer. Is that the expression? Swinging hammer, or is that about your dick?
You went to the fights over the weekend. You went to a fight this weekend.
I
It's
know,
like
but
saying-
I wanted to go to the game, and here you are complaining about the drinks are expensive. You didn't even pay for the tickets.
It's like saying, you know what? I'd really love to go to like Bali. You know what? How I can get to Bali? By paying for it. If you really wanted to go to the game last night, you could have paid for it. It wouldn't have been worth it to you, but you did.
they're like $400 a ticket, dude.
But if you really wanted to, if
It's kind of tough when
wanted to go.
I have tons of colleagues on the field or former colleagues, and we couldn't use our Fox resources because they asked us to work originally. And I was like, no, I'm hoping to go to the Derby.
So I'm just pointing out the fact that people that go to the ball game,
Someday you'll be on the field.
it's not
Someday I'll play in that celebrity game.
it's not complaining. It's just explaining that
mean
a
it wasn't
tall
you?
boy is $22, meaning you get a round for you and your bud. You're getting $40 or $50 for a round of 2 cocktails, 2 beers.
By the way, was the service worth all the vendors striking? Or was it super slow? Did it take forever to get a drink?
No, it was very fast because it wasn't like a
game.
typical line. No, it was. They have these things at Dodger Stadium where they have. It's like a 7-Eleven where they got a bunch of freezers and fridges.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go over, then bring what you want to the counter.
You didn't get food.
No, I didn't get food. I just got drink.
Food. Oof.
So I go to the Derby and we have a rooting interest. Zito and I have 3 bets on the line. He bet on Corey Seager because hometown guy coming home after he's now a Texas Ranger.
I bet on Bob Seger last night.
And
Good one.
he was out in the first round because his first round opponent was Julio Rodriguez. So Zito's like, fuck, I'm out. And then I'm like, all right, I bet on Pete Alonso to beat Soto in the finals. Like $40 won 3.
He was very pouty last night, Pete Alonso.
I think he was more sad. Yeah, he was.
He really wanted that. And
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect it, though. He wanted to win 3 years in a row.
And he was going to give the $1 million to a kids charity. So he was all like,
He was in his zone. He was sort of meditating in between rounds. But when he got beat, you could tell he was disappointed.
yeah. 22,
Which is okay.
$22 is fucking crazy. That's what Stu's trying to point out. That's what I was
But
trying
when
to
you
point
get
out.
free tickets, it's not that bad.
No, I agreed, but I'm just having a conversation.
Okay.
I mean, did you need to tell your Subway story about the fight? You're having a conversation.
When I talk about my strife, you always try to say, well, don't talk about it because there's bald dudes out
It's
there
not.
that don't want to hear about it.
Strife.
Well, I wasn't
I
at
just
the
said
game, and I think you're still fortunate.
$22 for a drink is a lot of money. How could someone
By
pay?
the way, those are the giant cans, though. You got to make that clear,
yeah,
too.
they're the
It's very
giant cans,
expensive,
but
those are the
still,
giant
I mean,
cans.
come on.
That's
So-
$5 more than what we paid at the last event we went to because they were 16 at the Dodgers game.
Yeah.
I got the same exact one for 16, 17 bucks.
So Zito bet on Corey Seager, who did well. It's just he faced the stud Julio Rodriguez, so he's out. I bet on Pete Alonso to beat Soto in the finals. I think it was $40. The $40
Rodriguez.
bet won $350. So I'm like, ooh. For a minute, I was like, ooh, I'm getting close. Alonso gets beat, rightfully so, by Julio Rodriguez. And
How much money did you put down on it?
$40 to win like $350.
Okay.
And then Zito and I said,
So
why
you
don't
can't be complaining about, $20 drinks. You're betting money left.
Why don't Zito and I said, why don't we put $25 each on Albert Pujols to win the whole thing? Because the odds were astronomical. Like
everybody rooting for Pujols?
Like we would have won a couple $1,000s each off of $20. And we're like, Pujols, the whole stadium, just to give you the vibe. I don't know if you could hear it on TV, but the whole stadium It was the greatest tribute to Pujols. Every time they said his name, every time he got up. He only played for the Dodgers 1 year, but I think it was the respect that he hasn't got around baseball. You pointed it out. A lot of legends do their little farewell tour, and Pujols is sort of going under the radar, and he's better than a lot of the guys that have got the farewell tours.
I mean, yeah, monster in baseball. And he got that welcome from the Dodgers fans and even Dave Roberts. So he must have been a bigger part of that team and had a bigger impact than we realized. Dave Roberts jumped into his arms. And
When
gave him a
this
hug.
happened and Soho was fanning him down and everyone was paying tribute to Pujols.
On a legendary Hall of Fame career.
It must have been awkward.
Awkward. I think it's cool. Like all the guys were showing him love.
This is respect.
It is respect, but it's a little
This
awkward.
is showing the way, and we saw it early on
But
when he was interviewed.
he's a guy that definitely deserves it. As far as I know, not only a super stud in baseball, but a great dude and like a charitable guy.
So
Beloved by his teammates and by everybody in the league, and no one gave him a farewell until last night.
So it was. I'll be honest. It was sort of like everyone around me was like, "Yeah, everyone. I'm a Pujols."
and he's going to be so close to 700
Well,
home runs.
he needs
man.
15. And I was
He's
talking to
gonna
the
get
guy.
it.
Well, I was talking to Zito and the guy next to me. We were like, he's on his farewell tour now. What if he gets hot in the second half and gets like 12 or 13? Because he's not an everyday player.
Does he come back the next
What if
year?
he needs like 2 home runs? And he's at 698. Very
It's so
A-Rod like.
possible. A-Rod ended with 697. Miserable.
When he beat Schwarber in the little playoff,
Yeah.
the place went fucking bananas.
It was dope. And then Schwarber did the we're not worthy sort of thing. He
Yeah.
was also paying respect to the legend.
And the whole joke was Julio Rodriguez, the young stud. Spot loves when we say stud. The young stud.
Deference to the legend.
You got to give Kyle Schwarber credit for playing along because he wanted to win. Of course. And the world's rooting against him. And it's like, fucking why? Because I got stacked up against Pujols.
In this round to win it.
Everybody, I think, wanted him to win, but Soto came out on top.
But
A lot of Dominican power there last night.
the whole thing was Julio Rodriguez was like 3 months old when Pujols started playing baseball in the bigs. So it just shows 40-something-year-old legend. And people say Pujols is even older. People say he's like 50, which I sort of believe. But he's a great dude in the game of baseball. So home run derby was a lot of fun. And I will say, I miss bushwhacking, but sitting and watching was also fun. We left right before the finale, the final two. And I think it was perfect timing because we're like, you know what? We got to get an Uber out of here. So do we want to compete with 50,000 people? Or if we dip out of here now, let's just go to like a bar or pub and get a cheeseburger or something. And that seemed to be the better move. And Spot, we went to get a cheeseburger at one of your favorite burger spots. Inside the Hollywood Roosevelt, that little
25 degrees.
25 degrees. I had a bacon cheeseburger.
Did you get the number one? The number one's where
No, I just got a bacon cheeseburger with caramelized onions. And it was fantastic.
I think our buddy Stoney Homie was there last night. Our buddy Richie Duran was there. I think he caught a home run.
I saw a couple of my softball buddies on social media were there. Yeah, I guess if you live out here in LA, people were trying to find their way into Dodger Stadium. They spent the money. The game's only out here once, right?
Why were you in Hollywood?
Zito stayed in Hollywood.
Oh, that's right. He moved. I forgot.
He
So
stayed
that
in
he can go
Hollywood.
to your favorite hamburger place to rub it in.
Right?
Yeah, I was
So
like,
so you went to the home run derby, the place he wanted to go. Then you went to my all-time favorite, his all-time favorite sporting event,
Just to rub it in.
my all-time favorite burger place.
it was so hot.
yeah, great stuff. Good
And-
stuff.
But
Got a
the
bacon
derby
cheeseburger.
continues
Nice.
to be a spectacle, man. It's a fun time.
It really is.
Dudes are
And
hitting bombs left and right. And then it was followed up by The Captain, the Derek Jeter documentary.
No,
so it was a fun night.
no Dodger dogs. Just figured I didn't want to. I was like, let's have like a real little meal afterwards. One observation that's not sports related. We'll talk more about this, I'm sure, on Fox today. I don't know if it was my ears because I was there in person, or if the national anthem by Conan Gray was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
How could you even debate it when I texted you immediately? And I said that was a pile of horse shit.
Yeah, but I thought you might just be being critical. I don't know if anyone else.
Are you joking me, man? That was I farted out a greater tune yesterday, and Jordan was the only witness.
It was. I looked around.
Are you serious? I gotta find
I looked at everyone around my seats, and we all gave each other the look like, "Am I hearing this right?" Or was his earpiece not in? Was he like?
I haven't heard this.
Oh, you haven't heard it?
No.
Oh, Spot, before you play
It was a disgrace.
like
is what
I
it
wasn't
was.
sure if. All right, so here's the problemo. I think he didn't sing along to a track. He sang along with the in-stadium organ player. So I don't know if like the organ's also like maybe pitchy in itself.
I texted you, Conan Gray sucks a fat duck, but I didn't mean duck.
It's never duck.
And it's never duck.
I never mean duck.
It's weird. It's never duck. No matter
So-
what you type, it's never duck.
Never duck.
One time it's duck.
Yeah.
It's disgraceful. You
But-
practice for this? This is what you get?
I just
Who picked
wonder.
this
I
guy?
wonder if there was an earpiece issue. Conan Gray, he sings like a couple pop songs.
Oh, you should stick with that.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
Frank?
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Cut to Enrico Palazzo tied up.
Bright stars through the perilous fight.
It sounds like me singing the national anthem.
Ramparts we
I feel like I could have done this. Just a guy that knows how to carry a tune but has not a good voice. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a guy that knows pitch but can't sing.
rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Get the hook, as my mom would say.
Get the hook!
Through the night.
Beat it with this guy. Hey, it's the All-Star game. Do the local, isn't the Dodgers affiliate? The Dodgers minor league team?
I don't even know.
Sing at that game. You don't sing at the All-Star game.
It's
Beat
not horrible on its own. But for a national televised event,
If this was a Tuesday night versus the Rockies,
yeah.
it's one thing. This
like,
is the fucking
welcome.
All-Star game. You can't break out fucking Lady Gaga or something?
Like, as I'm standing
Yeah.
in line to get a helmet full of nachos.
From the new Top Gun movie soundtrack and Academy Emmy Award winner, Golden Grammy winner, Lady Gaga. No,
It is
Conan
the
Gray.
home run derby.
Yeah, you may be right.
No. I'm
That
saying
was
it's
cool.
It's an all-star event. They should have had someone of
It wasn't
talent.
It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the best.
It was passable.
But I think
Anybody
Rich, you nailed it. It's the organ. The organ
is so pitchy in itself.
is it's the organ. It's
The organ's whole vibe is pitchy almost. It sounds like
yeah.
I think we learned never to sing along with an organ. And by the way, the military plane flying overhead was fucking cool because it was so low. You're like, whew.
Well, the announcers, who was the announcers yesterday? I know Stan Verrett was on the field, he said.
Yeah.
But there was a story that the Hispanic announcers were way more exciting than the actual English American announcers
No
that
surprise.
we witnessed. But right after
Who was it,
that,
Mao and Herc?
right after that though, they said, "Oh, I got chills from the plane." Like it was very powerful.
You'll appreciate this meme and comment. Fergie watching people call Conan Gray's performance the worst national anthem rendition.
That was a fucking crazy scene in The Boys.
Anyway,
Homelander, best villain by far since King Joffrey. By far, best villain on television in at least a decade. I think better villain than Joffrey
from The Boys.
from The Boys.
Not everybody watches The
Homelander,
Boys.
The Boys. All right, so home run derby was a lot of fun.
I just think it was the organ.
I think it was the bad national anthem, bad choice with the organ, and congrats to Juan Soto. Julio Rodriguez just put himself on the map last night.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I mean, people in Seattle knew.
And you know what? Between the derby last night and something we didn't talk about yesterday, our dinner the night before with Zito, I feel like he's one of the people I miss the most from the East Coast. I really enjoy my time with Mark Zito.
Very nice.
I do. I feel like
Oh,
Mark.
that's nice.
Mark, I said to him last night, I go, not to sound corny, but like top five. I've like Mark Zito's like a top 5 person I miss when when I don't see him. He really is. Like I feel like we have a lot in common. I feel like he's just great company.
You ranked him? How did he feel about that?
No, but I'm just saying. Like I joke. I was like, Mark, you're definitely top 5. Let's goofing around.
Was he honored by the?
Yes, he was
by the
honored. He was
ranking?
honored by it. But I mean, there's certain people that just bring a good time, and I feel like I don't think I've ever had like a bad time with Zito.
He's a great guy. Happy for him. Proud of Mark Zito. This is happening. Host of This Is Happening. He's gonna have a billboard, Times Square.
Yeah, good for him. Good for Mark
He's a hustler, baby.
Zito.
He's got that Z-toe.
I'm with Kev. Kevin hit us up. They should have Eddie Munson sing the national anthem.
I mean, anybody would have been better than that guy. Give me a break. I don't want to be hating on the guy. Whatever.
Well,
it's not that I'm jelly belly. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
It's just
no one
hard
said
to
no one said
notice.
Covino wants to sell the.
It's hard to not notice that it was terrible. And yeah, we did have a great time. You never showed the picture of us with Mark Zito
At dinner.
at dinner.
Oh, and that brings up a question.
We
And
had
then,
a nice dinner.
Then we could get into whatever you want to get into. Spot said something yesterday, and I want to know if anyone agrees with what Spot said, because I'm like, what are you talking about? So it's do you feel Spot or not? But show.
And by the way, Mark is really on my good side because we had a nice dinner. It was great to see him, but he said I look jacked. I don't know if that was his nice way of saying I got fat, but I appreciated that.
How you do? That shirt is a good fit on you as
This
well.
shirt, I wore it today.
Let me see.
I don't think so at all.
Is that a
It's a loose shirt.
is that your Lululemon sweet cut?
Hold on, Paul.
It's a
flex,
loose-
Flex your bicep.
It's not a form-fitting shirt.
Yeah, but you do look pretty cut these days.
But beefy. The thing is, I had gained a lot of weight, and I just am turning that into bulk. Now I got to trim up a little bit.
Yeah,
But
Why am I so red?
that
Because I went to
was
the beach.
dinner.
I
the
got
other night.
that picture printed out.
Mark Zito on the right. Yeah,
We went to a restaurant that goes around and they're like, "Hey, would you like us to take a picture at your table?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll buy it. Go ahead. Yeah, sure."
But they say, oh, well, you got a free postcard. So then they bring you the postcard, but then they dupe you by also printing out
like nice photos.
3 nice photos. And they're like, oh, we also have these for purchase. And it's like,
It was worth it. It was a nice
And by the
special.
way,
It was
I'm
a special
wearing
night.
the shirt today because I only got a 2-hour wear out of it that night. So
Makes sense.
now I'm trying to
Makes
just
sense.
you know.
you like 8 in it.
Yeah,
You had like meat
I
sweats. in
had
it.
one more wear out of it before I throw it in the laundry.
like
Yeah,
garlic-
did you have?
garlic bread
Did you?
crumbs on it.
Yeah. By the way, you ate garlic bread and meat.
Is that,
he
what,
had-
is that
he
what
had
was
chicken.
on it this morning?
Remember, he got the chicken teriyaki at a steakhouse?
I mixed it up with a chain though, just to switch it up. But anyway,
different look now.
what'd you want to talk about?
My question was, we went to a place it's like a famous Burbank Hollywood studio.
I
type
enjoyed
of
it
place.
thoroughly. I really did.
Oh, I'm
Spot,
surprised.
Great call.
I don't know how on planet Earth you had never been there, because I've been there before I even moved to LA because it was sort of a famous spot.
I'd seen it a
The
bunch of times.
Smokehouse.
Yeah.
And I had been there a bunch of times. I've been there multiple times with Spot, old school pals that lived in LA before I moved here. It's just one of those, like, not touristy, but almost like, hey, Smokehouse.
I would
It's like
say
old school
Hollywood.
Old school Hollywood. Like, hey, like the Rat Pack used to hang out here and have drinks. Like
Jack
that.
Girardi hangs there.
Yeah. So the main thing, like their main item on the menu where they like, not that they push it, but they're known for their prime rib. And I got the prime rib. Zito got the prime rib. Spock got the prime rib. Covino got chicken teriyaki.
I did. I got an old fashioned. Spot got an old fashioned. Zito got an old fashioned. This guy got, can I have a modern fashion, please? The creamsicle one?
You got a cream.
I got a some orange vanilla vodka cocktail.
I had
Ooh.
steak the night before, and I had burgers that day.
Doesn't matter.
So I didn't want a steak.
All right. Point is, it's not mocking your teriyaki or my drink.
My chicken teriyaki was fantastic.
That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
What I'm saying
You also got a chopped salad.
is that I said to. Oh, by the way, that's a home run every time.
A
It was
blue
so good.
cheese.
It's a blue cheese
a wedge,
wedge
salad,
or
but chopped.
The place was a home run derby style.
I love a wedge salad, but I will be honest. If they offer it in a chopped variation, I prefer that.
Yeah, I don't like doing all the cutting myself.
Yeah, it's
I don't like when they're like,
'cause
here's
you're
a head
like-
of lettuce.
You're cutting it like a fucking
How about the
steak.
strutting?
Yeah.
Cutting and strutting.
So I was like, yeah, dude, I love the garlic bread appetizer, which is what they're known for also. We housed way too much of that.
Yeah, I'm still feeling the
The
aftermath.
sweet potato, the
Feeling puffy
veggies.
from that.
The whole meal was great. And I said, you know what? I like the prime rib. I didn't love it. And Spot immediately is like, well, that's because you're not a prime rib guy.
gotta be a prime
You gotta
rib
be
person.
a prime rib
Yeah.
person. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I'll tell you what.
It's a different type of cut.
I love a filet. I love a ribeye, bone in or not. I love any super expensive tomahawk steak. I love a New York strip. I love most cuts of meat. A nice skirt steak. I try everything. But yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm not a prime rib guy, I guess, because I liked it. But I'm like, it's a pinkish, more like
prime rib.
softer. I don't know how to describe it.
You know, a prime rib, it's not when you get to order a steak, you get a steak that's cut And that steak is put on the grill and seared and gets the marks.
Yeah.
And then when you're cutting into it, it has the entire crust. And then, it gets pinker in the center and redder or whatever.
For the foodies,
For prime rib,
what is a prime rib guy?
it's a slice of a bigger piece of meat. So you're getting the inside, which is very tender. And it's like, I think it's a little bit slower cooked.
You're getting
or
no
roasted.
char. You're getting no, yeah.
It's only the outside has the char. So the inside is very soft.
It's like brownies. Do you like the outside
Right.
parts or the inside?
I'll be
parts?
honest. The prime rib
that's a perfect analogy. Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is surprising coming from Steve Covino.
I like the outside parts.
Me too.
You like the corners, the brown,
So I guess I'm not a prime rib
It's
guy.
like the centerpiece of pizza. I
I want a little crust in my action.
right. It's like in a party cut.
If you get if you're on the East Coast and you're getting grandma or Sicilian,
or a party cut.
I don't want the corner
St.
because
Louis.
it's too much crust, but I don't want the middle piece because there's no crust. I want a little crust. And you know what, Spot? You're right, because I like my steak medium rare.
Wait, so then he was right. You're not a prime
Not
rib
a prime
guy.
rib guy because I like
not a
my
prime
steak.
rib guy.
I like my
Did
steak.
you say that knowing
Like-
these facts, or did you say that because you made some sort of assumption about Rich?
Normally,
He just said it so matter of factly. You're just not a prime rib guy.
Normally,
so I was
and
like,
I got to be honest, because normally I am not a prime rib guy. I wholeheartedly admit it. But I know that they are known for their prime rib, and I'm not against prime rib.
Are you a cornflake girl?
I am. It's not my number one choice. Like if I were to go to Mastro's and they had prime rib on the menu, that would be the last thing I would order.
yeah.
But the fact that this is an old style steakhouse,
and they're known for
No,
it.
but he made it seem
Prime
like
rib-
a prime rib guy was a certain level of
You know who's a prime-
sophistication.
Oh no, I took it as like I didn't know.
you know
Yeah,
who's
like
a prime
that.
rib guy? It's 85-year-old man. Because prime rib is like old people love prime
I mean,
rib.
the menu did have other steak, but the focal point at this place is the garlic bread appetizer and the prime rib. It's old school LA. That's what their thing is. Now, to me, Spot, I feel like a medium rare ribeye with some fat might be my favorite. A nice, almost leaning rare filet.
a petite filet.
A petite filet, I love too. Prime rib guy, I'll be honest, if I go back there, I'm not going to get chicken teriyaki, but I might get something else. I might get something else because I enjoyed it, but there was nothing up. You know when you're at a nice steakhouse and each bite you're like, like you're like, this is worth the fucking overpriced $60. Oh, this every bite I was like, I feel like
well, it came with a nice horseradish
Au jus?
No, a horseradish sauce and au jus.
yeah.
There was a little, there's a little bit more fat to it because it's the inside of a roast. It's just a different type of meat.
I'm not offended. I'm
the prime rib guy.
I'm not you know what? I'm not offended. I'll be honest.
You bet
Like
your
Vic.
life I'm not.
Vic said he loves prime rib. Some people do, some people don't. So
Never
I
was a
guess
prime rib boy.
You got to ask yourself. You might be a steak guy that's like, yeah, I love everything from skirt steak to New York strips to ribeyes to everything. But let's be honest. What is it? A prime rib. A prime rib is just it's not even like steak. It's almost like a different meal. Really is. You can't even compare it.
But everybody enjoyed it. And
We had a great time.
it really was something out of a Quentin Tarantino movie because it's so old school Hollywood. And it's a very masculine place,
Oh,
but very fun.
like leather booths.
Yeah.
It's just old. It's very old.
I'm sorry. Did I say a dirty word? I think I did. I'm sorry.
It's very old.
It wasn't a toxic masculinity place.
Honestly,
Just
no.
a masculine
It's like
vibe.
because you think of a steakhouse of today, like very sleek and dim lighting,
Right.
and awesome, whatever. I don't.
But it was awesome in its
but this
day.
this really right
in the
in its-
1930s.
in its heyday, you could tell that this was the place. You could tell celebs were
Yeah.
going here having clandestine conversations over cocktails.
Definitely.
But
It's like they captured that and never updated it. And for anyone that wants a reference,
it's very
from-
time capsule-ish.
It
You're
is,
right.
but for anyone that wants a reference, the scene in La La Land where he gets fired for playing the music by J.K. Simmons, that was filmed at the Smokehouse.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Smokehouse is a pretty legendary place. But Rashawn said a prime rib could be cut into a ribeye.
Possible.
Well, my thought is like what Spot said and what Covino backed you up was that I never thought of it in that even if you like your steak rare, you're getting that sear and that crust the char taste, and on the prime rib, I feel like it's been sitting. You know what it is? I feel like it's the difference between. Oh, this is another good analogy, or maybe you'll disagree. Probably. I feel like a fillet or a ribeye, it's like a hot dog on the grill, where a prime rib is like a dog that's been sitting in a pot of water on the stove.
Prime rib.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has that, like prime rib just has that like almost like a soppy taste.
By the way, something I
Is soppy a good word?
Didn't look good to me.
Something I will never pretend to know, even as a foodie.
Yeah.
Something I will never pretend to know is when they show you a cow and they're like, this is where this cut comes from. I have no idea where shit comes from. I know like bacon is from the rib area or wherever. I don't know anything about where meat comes
Bacon's from a pig, first of all.
No, I'm saying like when I'm talking about bacon.
Oh, okay.
But outside of that, like steaks, like shoulders and butts and all that shit, I have no idea. But prime rib and ribeye come from the same cut. It's just the way in which they're cut.
Gotcha.
Like I
cut
said,
and prepared.
Prime
Okay.
rib is roasted. It's a roasted.
You think
cut.
Spot is the real fuckmaster and the real Advance Palate? And you've lost all your titles now?
Oh, I have no titles. Yeah, I have no titles.
He used to be Advance Palate, but
He used to be
he can't
Advance.
appreciate the prime rib.
Like
No, I don't think
you
it's
remember you
I
served a prime rib on Easter, right?
It looked like ass cheeks, man.
Well, prime
I
rib
don't
on
know.
Easter, yeah, but I'm saying like that wasn't.
I'm
this
glad
was
I got what I
this
got.
was when we did the prime rib on Easter, that was delicious.
I specifically cut it thin.
You cut it thin, and I liked it that. But when
red.
it's thick, I just feel like it's soppy.
It
The end.
was. It looked like
You
very
understand?
soppy.
You know how like corned beef and cabbage for the Irish folks, there's something so like wet and soppy.
Prime rib to corned beef and cabbage?
No, but I'm saying like it's
You
that like
shut your mouth when
I
you're
just feel
talking
like
to
there's
me.
something like no crisp, like a soppy, like it's been sitting in fucking hot water.
Made it extra soppy for you.
Nothing. That's a gross word to me. Soppy.
soppy.
Ugh.
Sending a photo of my prime rib. It really looked red, especially under the lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You know what, Spot? That's great. I'm glad you did take a picture, and you were the guy that took a picture of your food because it goes along with this conversation. This is Spot's prime ribba.
the prime rib.
His prime ribby.
Oh,
Barf.
I mean, yeah, you have to cut around the fat a little bit.
Mine was a little fattier than yours, to be
got-
honest. I feel like I
It'd
got
be
a
dope
so
if it was
here's-
caveman days.
Here's the this is the horseradish sauce right here. This is I got a baked potato. It was like a twice baked potato, which was really good.
Look how masculine that meal is.
Some au jus.
Spot, you were like
And then
manly
I'm
that
a-
night.
I'm a
old
so-
fashions and
Give me sautéed mushrooms any day of
Sautéed
the week over
mushrooms.
anything. Sautéed mushrooms. at a
sauteed veggies
steakhouse.
were good too.
No, sautéed mushrooms
All
at a
right,
steakhouse.
you're a mushroom type of guy.
When they do that whole mushroom.
Spotty is a mushroom guy.
Rich, you're not a mushroom kind of guy.
Yeah, not a mushroom type of
They
guy.
have mushroom tattoos everywhere.
So there you have it. That was our
Fun time.
That was our night 2 nights ago. We never talked about it. And I was like, yeah, we never talked about our
Shit.
really nice dinner night out.
No wonder Rich misses Mark Zito the most. Takes him out for a manly dinner and then takes him out for home run derby.
And he's just a good dude. I told you, top 5. I said to Zito
Very proud of Mark.
last night that
And I say that respectfully. He's a guy who really earned his way. He's doing really well.
We've made this point before, but when you go out for work or someone's flipping the bill, like I know tomorrow we have a big lunch meeting and then a dinner meeting, and someone else is paying. The food tastes better, and it's really like living the life of a hot chick. That is so weird. Like I can't imagine what that must feel like when if you're a hot 20 something and like you just know that I'm never paying for anything. Oh, I'm gonna go to the bar or club, not paying for a thing. Every time I go out for dinner, not paying. Imagine living the permanent life of a hot 20 something.
It's amazing.
Pretty
I
wild.
don't even know how much my meal cost that night. It's a great feeling.
That's a great question. You know what, know what they should do? An investigation on TikTok or Instagram. Someone should interview like hot young women and be like, how much is a steak? How much does sushi cost? How much? How much is a plane ticket to fucking a cenote in Cabo cost?
No, Tulum.
Tulum.
They all go to Tulum.
Hey, how much do you think a round trip ticket
It's
to
the
Tulum
modern
costs?
version of
I don't
name
know.
3 chili pepper songs.
Yeah.
I don't know, 3 boob photos. One ass
All
shot.
right, give it away under the bridge and
And-
scars come to mind. Is that okay?
The same as like 3 feet photos.
Like 3 times of me eating.
No, but like
I ate a banana 4 times
when-
and I got a ticket to Tulum.
No, young lady, when we went to that club in Tulum and we had a seafood tower, you had a steak, lobster, and we ordered 4 bottles of champagne. How much do you think that cost?
That was like
I don't
that
know,
was
like $30.
Like
It's a good
I mean, my
good
time
investigation.
is so valuable.
I don't know. think that all the time. It's a chauvinistic thought, but not really. Hot young girls probably have. It's probably like, you know how they used to ask like presidents, like, hey, how much is a carton of milk? And, you know, people that are rich or in power probably don't usually know these things as they're not going to the supermarket. I think who did it? Was that Seinfeld with who? Norm Macdonald on one of the comedians in Cars?
Bob Barker did it all the time.
He did every day.
Yeah.
No, but on Comedians in Cars, which I know you love.
Yeah.
I think Seinfeld, for some reason, went into a supermarket with Norm Macdonald, and Norm's like, Jerry, Adela, how much do you think this can of beans is? And he's like, I don't know what a can of beans costs. Why would I know? Like, why would I know what a can of, I don't know, $7? $7, $2.
Speaking of, we've hit on a Seinfeld did it, I think, every day this week. It's only Tuesday. But even on Fox Sports Radio, we were talking about some shit and like, yeah, they did that on Seinfeld. It's like, you can't bring up anything. You think you bring up the most obscure reference that happened in life. Hey, man, I got in a fight at Subway because I went to the bread part and there was a guy at the wrong part and he yelled at me. Seinfeld did it. Larry David did it. The Simpsons did it. And I pulled a sort of Seinfeld move today because our buddy Michael Mauser said, you guys should talk about this. And I'm like, you know what? We did. He goes, because you guys are the Seinfeld of radio. But it's
Talk about it.
It's kind of true.
CNR did it.
There's not a whole lot we haven't talked about in 17 years of doing this show. But Spot, I sent you this clip just to readdress because I know we talked about it in the past, and I'm sure Seinfeld did it too. In fact, I don't even know if Seinfeld did it. I'm just guessing that he did.
Before you do that, Kevin just hit us up with a meme to wrap up last conversation. Spot, I just sent it to CNR's text message. It's about hot women not paying for things. It's a funny meme of a girl looking down her bikini bottoms. I'm broke. I can't go out tonight. Wait a minute. I have a vagina. Yes, I can. That's sort of truth.
That is true.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Seinfeld did it. You brought up, Jerry, what was the conversation that Mauser said to bring up?
He hit us up. He said, you should probably talk about this because it's really true. And I'm like, you know, it's funny because I remember seeing this little article, this meme, this little news story, and we definitely talked about it. He's like, that's right, because you guys are the Seinfeld of radio.
We are.
I'm like, yeah.
That's right.
There's not a whole lot that we haven't talked about. But just to reemphasize, because it's been a long time, I made a comment the other day. I said, show me your search history. Show me your algorithm. Show me your friends on social media, and I'll tell you who you are. You know, show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. There's a modern day version of that, you know. But the shopping cart theory is also a great indicator of who you are and why people can't police themselves. Like, it's really a true experiment on the type of person that you are. And I don't know if it's a perfect indicator, right, of how people police themselves. But when no one's looking, if you're the type of person that doesn't return the shopping cart, what does it really say about you?
Well, I'm not claiming to be the greatest guy ever.
Yeah.
But I put it back every time. Like, I can't even imagine not. I feel like it's a dirtbag move. Like, you're blocked. You don't want the cart to roll into someone's car. You don't want to just leave it in the parking lot. And it's usually within 25 feet of where you are.
Let me read this to you, though, because it's so perfect.
And if you shop at Aldi, you get your quarter back.
Oh, really?
You got to do
You have
that.
to put a quarter in to release the...
I mean, maybe that's the only way to police people. But it's a true like indicator of society.
That's why they do it.
And why you need order.
Do you always have
as terrible as that sounds? Like, it's why you need structure.
No.
Law. You can't even say Law and Order without thinking of the show and Donald Trump. You know, because he said stuff like that. But
honestly,
you need to police people because they're idiots.
That's honestly why they do it, though.
do
They
you mean?
make it
Oh, yeah.
where it's a quarter because
Yeah.
they know people are more. They don't pay people to minimize costs. They don't pay people to go around the parking lot and collect the carts.
It really is.
So in their mind, they're like, well, we're charging a quarter, which you can even go inside to the register and say, I forgot a quarter. Can I have one? They'll give it to you, but you're more likely to return the cart to get your quarter back.
Austin Arnold said, "You ever see cart narcs?" I've never seen cart narcs.
Oh, I have.
Cart narcs is great.
Well,
Great.
you know what? No. I'll tell you why. I love it and hate it because if the guy wasn't a dick, I would love it. He goes around fucking with people that don't return their cart, but he's such an asshole that like it's like, ooh, who do I hate more? him or the asshole, and I'm like, I hate everybody.
No, the cart guy,
Oh.
I think.
Well,
the shopping cart is the
true.
ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task, and one we all should recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
To return a shopping cart is objectively right. There's no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it's not illegal to abandon your shopping cart.
That's the key. It's not illegal. So this is just purely the ability to be like, are you a good person?
Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as an apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart.
That's the key.
No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return a shopping cart because it's the right thing to do, because it's correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal, an absolute savage who can only be made to do what is right by threatening them with the law and the force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is good or bad member of society.
Truth.
And it's so true, and we've covered that before, but it's like even one step further now. I live in a condo complex, and there are universal, first of all, there's always the mystery of who brings these random shopping carts into your neighborhood, right? Like, because they just appear. It's like someone brought a shopping cart from the supermarket to like your complex or your neighborhood.
A lot of shopping carts have the lock on the wheel.
Yeah,
Some
but
don't.
sometimes you always see
I
one
don't know.
end up somewhere.
Trader
which is
Joe's, which is also by our house,
Yeah.
has an invisible like fence. If you go past it,
That's
the
what I'm
wheels-
saying. It
Yeah,
goes-
the wheels shut down.
Not all of them have that because some end up, again, I live in a complex. So I don't know. Is there a guy that lives in my complex that went to Ralph's and carted his stuff all the way to the apartment? Like, how does that even work? Because it happens all the time. But we have universally stolen carts from supermarkets that belong to the building. And they have little Brother P-Touch labels on them that say, return cart when done. Right?
So your building even stole shopping
Our
carts
building even stole some shopping
for
carts.
like bringing stuff up and down
But
elevators.
it's like for older people or for, simple transport of your groceries from the garage to your condo.
oh, you just Jordan just hit me up. You got a bill in the mail. The HOA says the shopping carts are $8,000 each. So you guys,
You're gonna have to.
yeah, you're gonna. It's
pony
like
up.
$700 a unit.
So the simple rule, I'm not surprised. So the simple rule, even in the condo complex, is you could take the cart to get your groceries, bring it to your condo, but return the cart. I can't tell you how many times I open the elevator and an empty cart is just sitting there because some piece of shit left it there.
On the elevator?
Or they just leave it in the hallway. And it's like, I'm dying to see who the piece of shits are because I'm like, all you have to do is return it. And this is where you live. What a you're a savage, an animal. What a piece of garbage you are. If you can't do the bare minimum of what's expected, it's like the only exception, like according to this little story, was emergencies, right? Dire emergencies. If you're like 105 years old, like there's a guy who lives in my complex that he's so off balance when he walks because he's so hunched over. I don't know how he doesn't tip over. If you're that guy and you don't return the cart, I get it.
Okay.
But if you're of able body and you're not on a crutch and you're not hunched over and you're not 105 years old, what is your excuse? To me, that guy on cart narcs is absolutely right because I think you're the biggest piece of garbage and you should be called out.
The only place that is
Unless you forgot. Maybe, there's
if you
always
got-
the element of, you know what? I forgot that I left the cart there.
Does like a bathroom emergency count? Because sometimes
Yeah,
if
I
you're-
think emergencies
leaving,
count.
you gotta-
very,
you
very
really
rare
gotta-
circumstances where you're like, I gotta get out of here. I think there's one place where I'm not saying it's not clear, but I don't even think you ever have the time to return it without someone else being like, yo, could I get that? When you go to Home Depot and you have one of those, like almost like
It's like a flatbed.
the little push flatbed, you unload your mulch or whatever, wood or whatever you have. As you're even pushing it anywhere, there's always some guy that's like, yo, can I get that? Yeah, thanks, man. I don't even know where those go because I think you're supposed to push those in front of the store because they don't even go in the cart lane, do they? I've never even.
There's a cart return,
But-
that's specifically for those.
At Home Depot, they're
Home Depot.
usually lined up by the curb in front of the building. I think that's a rare exception, but again, I've never even dealt with that because every time I'm done with it, there's always someone like,
By the way, at Aldi,
yo, could I get that?
when someone requests your cart, you know what they do? They hand you a quarter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta get-
You're dropping that off here. Here's
They're
a quarter.
opening an Aldi a few miles from here. It might be, maybe I'll investigate the
And
Aldi life.
Don't you think
Sucks.
that I'm not? No, it doesn't. It's fantastic. I went there yesterday. Don't you think that I'm not going to be stopping at that Aldi all the time?
Why, you tell me why it sucks, and tell me why it's great.
That's gonna
Remember
be my
where I lived
Aldi.
in New Jersey?
yeah.
You remember there was a CVS on the corner?
Yeah, of course.
Remember when I would walk to the bus? There was an Aldi right there.
Yeah.
So there was an Aldi right in my
you
walking
never went
distance,
there.
and I never went there because they had nothing.
So how do you know?
Because I would go there because I was there by the bus stop all the time. I look around,
Sorry,
like,
I'm
a
sorry
bag
they
of
don't have
peanuts.
Kirkland
Yeah,
keto
but
bars.
I will say you do sound
Sorry,
like
they don't have Kirkland bars.
this does sound. This stuff.
It's Trader Joe's of lower quality.
No, it's Trader
It is.
Joe's of like zero name brand. You have to be
lower quality.
You have to build
Trader
a little
Joe's.
bit of savvy to shop at a Trader Joe's. You can't go in there expecting to find name brands of exactly what you want.
Of course,
but
you
they will
love
have
it.
a comparable version that will be 10 times cheaper and just as good.
All these nuts.
Just saying.
Hey, speaking of self-governing, though, I figured there was more to this, like a next level of this conversation, because we have discussed this, and it's very true, and it still holds true. But again, I notice it even more so because there's shopping carts in my complex all the time that aren't returned, and there's new ones that appear. It's like, wait, so someone went to Best Buy, took a cart, and now it's in my fucking driveway? Like, how does that happen?
What do you want me to tell you?
Is this the hobo that brings it? Are they like hobo cart ferries that leave them places? How does this even happen?
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I'm amazed at not just Aldi, the fact that people are very particular about like this supermarket versus this supermarket. It's sort of funny to me because so like growing up, I just found out that in my hometown of Franklin Square.
Are they getting the shop right?
No. Well, we had a ShopRite for years.
Oh, shop right.
They had a ShopRite, which my family went to, but the main one on the other side of Franklin Square where like my family would go, my friends would
They used to
usually
have
go.
those can sales. Remember that?
Can,
If there was a shop right on the West Coast, that would be the only place I would go.
I don't even know.
ShopRite.
See, that's crazy to me.
ShopRite.
You're talking about
Aldi is owned by Shop Wrong. I don't know if you knew that.
you talk about ShopRite being great.
They're like
It was
Trader
just an average
I went to
supermarket.
ShopRite when I was a boy. How would I know if it's a good supermarket? I just
It
went
wasn't
there
even a
and
supermarket. It was just a market.
yeah, but what I'm saying is
You went to the one in Garwood. was
you knew what a
fantastic.
good supermarket was when you were
Yes.
12?
You know why? Because Phyllis taught me right. She would take me. She would show me how to buy things, and then when I started going on it's like when you learn laundry from your parents, which you learned at 35. When pointing to Covino, you learn things, and you're like, oh, do I get this or do I get this? And then you go on your own, and you're on the phone. You're like,
no.
do I get this or this?
My fam-
and then eventually you start to learn how to do it by yourself.
In my mind,
It's
I'm
a
like,
process.
in my mind as a kid, I was like, who knows what a good supermarket is? The first time ever that I was like, this supermarket just looks different and better. When I was in upstate New York for Syracuse, they had a Wegmans, and everyone jerks off over Wegmans.
Wegmans was like the artisanal.
Like Wegmans had like a food court and fresh food. There was like a guy cutting meat. There's another guy making sushi, and everyone was like, "Yo!" When I tell you, they rave about Wegmans. Like that was the first time I ever heard people rave about a supermarket. But now living in LA, there's a Pavilions down the block. There's a Ralph's. To me,
Gelson's.
to each his own. I go to Ralph's because I feel like they're cheaper than Pavilions. That's the only reason. It's the only reason. Like Spot's like, I go to Aldi for this. I go here for this. It's
I
a
go
wild.
to Aldi for my meats, my bigger shopping, and then
He's a
my,
seasoned shopper.
for my
So that
I
makes
am.
sense.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm on your team with that. I
I've
get
been
it.
shopping for myself
Yeah.
Right.
since college.
And certain
And
supermarkets have
I've
better
learned
deals.
and adapted. Like I can walk in a supermarket, know which aisle I'm going to. I know the route I walk through. I know skipping the pet food aisle and the baby aisle.
I know
and the
rich old ladies go to
Gelson's.
Gelson's. Every old lady now Gelson's, because I guess back in the day Gelson's had like prestige, but it's expensive. And that's about Pavilions. Spot. There's a brand new Pavilions by you,
Jordan went yesterday.
but Pavilions is I think nicer, but
He
it's
said it was
expensive.
beautiful.
It's
I
expensive
hear
though.
I hear it's shitty. Though.
Something is
The new
I
one?
hear it's
No,
shitty.
not
Brand new and beautiful.
the one on Ventura.
It's beautiful. We just
No,
passed
it's
it yesterday, and
beautiful.
we're like,
No,
yo.
but I hear like it's the prices are horrible.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like people
laid
go
out
there because they're like,
bad.
maybe they're like, I like it because it's nicer. Because you're right. Pavilions is more expensive.
Stick with me. I'll show you how to shop.
Well, it's not about shopping. It's about self-governing. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
What we're talking about
So-
stupid supermarkets, right? Duh.
Sorry, I got
But anyway, Mike,
distracted.
the King Cullen in Franklin Square was my point too. There was a King Cullen. Have you ever heard of King Cullen?
Heard of,
Of course.
Matt Cullen.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He works at Sirius XM, right? Brian Cullen?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, he's King Cullen.
I was messaging him earlier.
King Cullen was like the big Franklin Square supermarket, and they're turning it in after like
He's a king now?
Yeah. Yeah. They're turning King
Got
Cullen
promoted.
from
You lost your job. You got promoted.
it was like the one that was there forever. Like while everything else around it changed, King Cullen stayed. And they're changing it into an Amazon
Fresh.
like fresh.
Oh,
and everyone's like, oh, like big change. King Cullen's going away.
Have you been? I don't know if I assume the Amazon stores are the same. I haven't been into one, but have you been to a Whole Foods now, where you walk in, you scan? So if you have an Amazon account, because they're owned or co-owned, or I think Amazon owns Whole Foods now. You go to your Amazon app, you scan it by the entrance, you walk in, you put everything in your cart, and when you walk out, everything in your cart is.
Do you have to scan every item as you take it off the shelf? How do they know?
It's in the cart. They know, or it's in your cart or hand bag, and they know.
Impossible.
I swear. I never bought it. I haven't done it yet, but I swear that's how it works. But because I went into, I was walking and I went into like try and pee, and it was just too much of a process. So I just left.
Now we're getting talk about supermarkets, but one more dumb thing.
Not we. You.
You. Okay, you're right. And him.
And me.
And Spot.
He's. I mean, you got Spot going on Aldi, and that's fucking went out of control.
You know how like you guys are really into sports, and if like somebody brings up anything sports related, you'll just go off on a tangent. These are my passions.
The supermarket.
The supermarket. I love shopping. I love food shopping. The gym.
Talk about it on your first. Do you talk about that on your first date with Kristen?
Probably.
Supermarkets.
It might work because if you talk
maybe.
to Jordan about that, she lights up. She loves that shit.
What is the?
Everyone, it's like everyone shops. Everyone eats.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I think most people
goes
just
to the
I think
doctor.
most people just go to the supermarket and they try to get the best deal, and they're like, I don't think they cross-reference every market. I think you're very passionate.
You got to
about
understand my struggle with that. Like if I want it, I'm going to buy it. And then Jordan puts up this stand where no, it's not on sale. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And it becomes what's the word?
Like annoying?
It's just tension filled because I'm like, I want Captain Crunch. I don't give a fuck. It's not on sale. It'll be on sale in like 2 days. So she won't buy it unless it's on sale. And I'm like, I don't give a rat's ass. That's why I'm fucking working extra. I'm a grown up. I want it now. I don't want it in 2 days. She's like, well, if I'm going to be here in 2 days anyway, wait for it to be on sale. Or like Spot said, there might be another supermarket where that is on
Seems
sale.
like such a hassle.
I would.
But she's right. You know, she is right. I just don't care.
In the age of high gas prices and time is money.
Gas is going down.
I'm not. It is. I'm not going to say, oh, it's cheaper at this supermarket. Let's drive there. If I happen to be going there, or like walking by a Ralph's or whatever, I'll go. But I'm not going to go out of my way to go get this at this supermarket. This is this supermarket. This is this.
How do you feel about someone that says, I saw a meme that said, if they expect you to do self-checkout, expect me to steal at least one thing.
I completely agree with that.
Really? No, I don't do that. It'd just be too typical for someone to bother me about it. No thanks.
Yeah, makes sense.
Meanwhile, this guy's stealing shit.
I didn't say I'm stealing shit. I'm just saying you're the guy that said you'd be caught. I said yes, you would. For some reason, you would be the guy. That would be your story.
I probably wouldn't. They bother me, and I didn't even do it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that would be the story. All right, let's move on from supermarkets.
I'm talking about self-governing.
Self-governing, returning the shopping cart is a really great ultimate
It's
test.
still a good one. Yeah, it's still a really great indicator of the type of guy you are, person you are.
I'll give you one.
And I got to be honest, it's also a reminder because there are times where you don't know where to put it, right? You're at a Home Depot or something. You don't know where. So you just put it somewhere, but respectfully, like onto the little, like where the tree is.
That's nice.
Like,
yeah.
But I don't even think that's good enough. I'm mad at myself for even
Did you say
being that person.
you don't know where to put it, so you just put it on a tree?
Yeah,
know
or
what
like
he means.
over a divider so it doesn't move and roll into someone's car. You know
He's
what I
trying
mean?
to be. It's like respectful light.
Yeah, even that's not good
All right,
enough. So
give-
it's a
give me an-
reminder.
give me another one,
But
Covino.
that's me trying, but still being lazy because I don't know where it is.
Give me another one.
Well,
I got one.
because I'm thinking of
I tie a bag to the cart like a
Yeah.
sail, and then I just let the wind pick it up. And like,
is that how it ends up at my complex?
Yeah.
Oh, now I know the mystery. But dude, I can't tell you. It's like, you know, when I hit the elevator and it opens up, boom, and there's an empty shopping cart there. It baffles me. I'm like, who is the scumbag? Because everyone thinks it's me, and it's not.
That
But
you
I
know-
bet
you
you
know
everyone's
they
like,
think
I
it's you.
bet you it's that guy with the hair,
Mexican.
that vaguely vato Asian man.
The guy with the hair, because everyone in
guy who's
Covino's
slightly
building is all
vato.
old bald guys.
Yeah.
The guy with hair.
Hey, bitch, he's the slightly vato fella. It's gotta be. I don't know who it is, but it bothers me. So, you know, self-governing is really where I was trying to get at this. Because we all agree that supermarket carts are a great sort of thing where, come on, there's etiquette.
Come on.
Put the cart back wherever you got it.
Come on.
It's not that hard. Unless you're 105 years old. I don't think you should be driving or shopping anyway.
You shouldn't be driving.
I got
to the
another.
supermarket.
I got
No,
another
I have a
self-governing
few questions because there's
okay.
ones that I might be breaking the rule on. If we don't have these open discussions, you know, sometimes you just don't know. Like when you're at the gym, self-governing, right? There's so many levels, like putting the weights back.
Fair. That's a
right?
good one.
That's a question because I don't do that. Because I'm like, hey, man, these are 45s. It's kind of standard. The next person is probably going to leave some 45s on there.
Exception.
Right? I don't know. But I saw some dude who so respectfully was taking them off yesterday.
I did that.
And I'm like, yeah, you know, I never do that. And I don't want to be the guy who doesn't put his cart back at the gym. You know what I mean? So weights, I don't put them back.
Not everybody's pushing 45s.
At a gym,
You're right.
At a gym, I'm going to give you 2 rules that I think. If you're on the universal machine, and let's say you're using ropes for like tricep pull downs.
Oh, you don't have to adjust the weight for that. Or remove the hook.
But do you take the
no,
rope?
but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if I take down a bar to put the rope up, I put the bar in the proper
in the little holder
area. I just don't fucking like drop it on the floor. I think if you switch out, Covino, like if you're doing like lat pull downs on the big bar, and you swap out a rope or something, you don't just be like, oh, throw it on the floor. I think you put it in the designated like tray or area.
I agree with that.
I think if you are using dumbbells and let's say you got 2 25s, you put them back next to each other in the best.
Pounds.
You're using 50 dumbbells?
For chest?
Oh, I think they're for curls. I'm like, who
Sometimes
are you?
for curls.
Fucking Derek Poundstone?
Look at his arms.
Yeah, man.
I mean, those guys got big arms.
Got to fill out that shirt.
But if you're using
man.
like, if you're using
Right,
20,
Marcito?
if you got a pair of like 20s or 25s, I think you try your best to put them in numerical order, unless it's a big fucking hodgepodge of bullshit. But like
we all
sometimes,
work out at 24
but sometimes
It's a hodgepodge.
sometimes
It
Covino,
is.
I'll be like, there's 120 there.
Yeah.
How is there a 120?
Where's the other
Some
one?
jerk off. Then I'm walking around the gym. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, there's only 125.
But that's always.
The other
It's
25?
always. It's
Then
not sometimes, always.
then
the
you
case.
see some idiot on the other side of the gym doing like the little, over their head thing, and they drop it on the floor and walk away. So you got to put your dumbbells back. The only exception, I'm going to back Covino up. If you're doing free weight bench press and you got 45s on each side, I think if someone's waiting, you say, you want me to leave these? Because most people start with 45s on each side, and that's their first set.
I'd say so, unless we're not.
Who's doing free
women.
weight bench?
Women don't.
Who's doing free weight bench press with nothing on the weight?
I could be.
Gotta warm
See,
up.
that's why it's a reminder and it's a fair discussion. I don't want to be perceived as the guy who leaves the car at the gym, because if I leave 45s on,
Got a rotator issue. I can't push.
I'm really
can't
kind
push
of
right
being
away.
lazy. I'm not being courteous to the next guy, because the next guy could be a woman who doesn't start with 45s, and now I subjected her to take them off to put on 25s.
Plus, you should use dumbbells anyway.
And I'm being sexist here in my example.
Well,
Or you-
that's true. I mean, it's not sexist. It's
is.
women don't carry as much as men.
But there's a lot of women that are
like,
probably
if-
stronger than me.
Like,
there.
my wife
Who's
does-
strong? What woman is stronger than you? Fucking Brittany Griner?
There's some big women at this gym.
Fucking Fabulous
Okay,
Moolah?
how about this? Because I never do it. Ever.
I've seen women push more than me. I'm not ashamed.
I'm
I'll tell you.
certain that there's got to be a few.
I'll tell you what I don't do. Wipe down my shit.
Bam. That was it.
you
Like
guys are
self-governing.
gross.
Yeah.
No,
So
shit bag.
yeah. Hey,
Shit
that's why
bags.
it's a reminder, man. And that's why I came down very strong on the shopping cart guy, because if I'm that guy at the gym, do I got to wipe down my mess every time?
The pandemic teach you nothing?
I never
no,
wiped down.
I clean
There's
my hands
cleaning-
and shit every 3 seconds.
The beauty of the pandemic was that they put cleaning stations so accessibly
You think
now.
they're weird people who are wiping down their bench every time?
Every time.
Walking around with a spray bottle.
Every time.
Fuck out of here. I
Every
don't know,
time.
Spot,
Germaphobe
really?
weirdos.
Every time.
No, you have to wipe. Like you do it's a half-ass wipe down, but at least you're making an effort. You go, you spray a piece of the.
You're
piece,
different than me, and I'll tell you why.
You go, you spray the sheet of paper.
He's
you
probably
walk back.
right. I don't
you
know.
wipe it down, and you move on.
You're right, but I want to tell you why you're
It's
different
not
than
that
me.
hard.
You're different than me for one big reason at the gym.
I never mind.
No, say it. Say your side comment. Go ahead.
I take douchey gym selfies.
No. You actually work hard and sweat. I do not for the most part. Like if I'm wearing, like my t-shirt sometimes will be as dry as it is right now.
And you're not
if
working
I'm
out hard
no,
enough.
But if you're not sweating, are you really working out?
Yeah, what the fuck are you
All
doing there?
all right, well,
Little Pee Wee Herman workouts?
finish my point. My point is, if I'm sweaty, I will obviously wipe. If I am on like the pec deck or doing a bench or something, and I see like, oh, it's like the bench is moist, gross, I'll wipe it down. But if I start with like, I don't know, like shoulder press, and my shirt's as dry as it is now, I'm fucking walking away.
But is someone viewing you the same way we view the shopping cart guy?
No, not even the same level. I don't see every person
Yeah,
wiping
I go
down.
as far. This is.
I don't see people
by the way,
wiping down.
I go as far as, let's say I'm using. I love using the
I lick it.
because
I'm
of my-
trying. I'm like COVID.
just because of my rotator. I use the machines, the chest presses, like the isolateral machines. I'll go as far as do order of wipe down. So I do hands, then I do back, then I do butt. I always end with the butt because I'm not going to wipe my butt area, then wipe the handles with the same thing. I even think that far ahead. You're gross.
Well, Londo said he's disgusted with the
I'm
both of us.
disgusted.
So that's why I bring it up, though.
I like germs.
It's like if I could have a passion,
Like germs.
if I could have such a
I like
strong
germs.
passion against people with the shopping cart, are people who call their gym their home, right? There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time at the gym. There's a lot of people that take pride in the gym. My purpose at the gym is to get in and out as fast as I possibly could.
I'm just.
So, if I'm that guy who's upsetting people, I don't want to be, because I know I'm going to have a confrontation eventually about it. So it's just a reminder that, you got to put your weights back, even though I feel like I'm doing it for good reason. And I'm not talking dumbbells. Dumbbells always go back. Can we make that very clear? Yes. Dumbbells, actual dumbbells, always go back to where you got them from the rack. We're talking actual plates. We're talking about.
I'm looking at 2 dumbbells right now.
But we're talking about plates for the universal equipment or the bench press and stuff like that. If I was leaving 45s on there, I was thinking, okay, that's pretty common and universally accepted. But maybe it's not. Put those back.
I'm just
Dumbbells
trying,
automatic.
I'm just trying to embrace germs before monkeypox comes to get us.
Yeah. Any other self-governing
Yeah.
laws that we need to abide by
got
or
one.
be reminded about?
Yeah. Take care of your landscaping. I think it's a self-governing look for the neighborhood. I think that
Dr. Green Thumb.
if you
Brown thumb.
like there are people that I see their plants and their lawn are patchy and gross, or they haven't cut their lawn. Get a landscaper or cut it yourself. When your fucking vinyl siding of your house is dirty and got stains on it, fucking rent a power washer. Respect your neighborhood. You're ruining you're ruining the value of your block.
See, Spot said that's his shit, but other people are subjected to it. If you want to live like a slob within the confines of your home, that's fine.
Knock on wood, this
the
whole block,
outside, like you're exposing other people.
the
to
whole
that.
block I live on.
Just because you want to live like Fred Sanford doesn't mean everyone has
a cart can
to
affect
be
me.
appreciative of that.
A cart can affect me. A weight can affect me. That can affect
Oh,
me.
it can affect you most of all. Property value. A cart's not affecting shit. That's just polite. If your next door neighbor, luckily, knock on wood, my neighbors are all pretty clean people. But if you walk long enough, you'll pass a house in any neighborhood where it's like, who is this person? Is it an old person who just can't do it to their kids or grandkids? No one's looking out for them. The grass is like fucking 2 feet high and they got weeds and they need a nice little power washing. You are ruining the neighborhood. Take pride in your home. You're ruining the neighborhood. Bring your
Who said it?
That's self-governing, right? I agree.
Here's something that I thought, I was wondering if I was doing something. I asked you, and I think you said, nah, no big deal. My next door neighbor said, oh, I don't care either. My landscaper puts as a courtesy, I never asked him to do this. He does it out of a courtesy. He puts the recycling, the grass, and the garbage can out in front of our house when he's done doing the landscaping, like a day and a half early. So like my garbage can is out in front of the house a day before everyone else on the block. And I'm like, is that like an eyesore? Like, should he be putting it out Wednesday when garbage comes on Friday?
I just think the only downside to this is people now have a place to throw their dog shit bags.
I don't give a shit.
And that is
Literally.
your garbage can because it's the only one there.
Stop being a busybody.
Me or Rich?
Rich.
How's that being a busybody?
You're a busybody. I'm a busybody.
No, but it's saying in what manner?
Who cares what other people do with their shit?
It's your neighborhood where your kids are growing up, where you have to look, where you own a house, your property value.
Oh, I'm sorry. They put their trash out 12 hours earlier than they should have.
He does.
I do, dummy.
Oh,
But still, he's wondering.
I'm saying, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh man, I don't want my neighbors being like, yeah, look at them. They put their garbage cans out on a Wednesday in the afternoon, and garbage comes on Friday.
No, don't worry about it.
Any other self-governing reminders? Just so that we could be better people and so that we could avoid conflict. And that's what I try to do. I'm trying to be respectful, always trying to be nice. Dude, some guy was so overtly nice. Did I use that word properly? I hope
Overtly
so.
is a good word.
To me yesterday, and it was nice. It was refreshing. He noticed that I was
you went to get a muscle milk, and he's like, sir, take your time. Go ahead.
He noticed I was doing the lurk because I wanted to get on the universal chest press. I don't know what they're called when they use free weights because it's not a universal piece of equipment. To me, a universal piece of equipment is the ones with the plates and the pins. Right? What are they called when you use free weights on them, on the machines?
Oh, I know what you're saying. It's like, let's say an incline bench, but it's not like move the pin. It's like put the
weight on.
Yeah,
the,
it's like
the isolateral machines. That's what they.
Is that what they're called?
The chest ones. Yeah. The. I mean, I don't know if that's the official term, but I know it's always like
the ISO machines.
Isolateral.
I'm waiting to use the ISO
incline,
machine.
decline, push,
with plates and everything.
That's what I use because it's easier on my arm.
And this is where I was reminded. This guy noticed that I was doing the lurk, and I wasn't really even being obnoxious about the lurk. I'm just like, was getting off the machine. I was ready to do something else in between until something freed up. And he's like, I got one. You waiting for this? I'm like, yeah, man, no rush. He's like, no, I got one more set. Don't worry. I was like, cool. Perfect. Right? I was like, that was nice. He noticed. Fine. Nice encounter. Nice exchange. And then when he finished his set, he began to take the weights off. And I'm like, no. I leave the 45s. I'm good with that. Oh, cool. We had this nice encounter. And I was like, wow, this dude was way more respectful to me than I am to other people.
A lesson learned.
You know? Yeah. And self-governing also goes back to final gym thing too. Spot, the texting on the benches is a real issue.
It's an issue.
Because when you're waiting for a bench, when you're waiting for a machine, when you're waiting to be next on whatever it is, and some guy's there and he's using it and he's texting, even if he's doing it in between sets, it looks so bad. Because you're like, yo, get the fuck up. Even though you do it and when you're waiting and you see it, that's all you care about.
This is what I do when I'm.
You have to self-govern there too.
There's nothing that like I have my watch. Rich, I know you don't have a smartwatch, but if anything is like pressing,
that's pretty dumb.
You are. But if anything's pressing, it'll pop up on my watch. Outside of that, I don't need to look at my phone. So if in between sets, I just sit there. I have my workout counter going. I'm like, okay, I'm resting for a minute, and I'll just.
Well, you got music on, right, Spot?
I have music on.
I bet you he doesn't.
I'm just like,
I bet you Rich doesn't listen.
I'm just
to
sitting
music.
around. I'm looking at people at the gym. You know, I'm staring around, looking at the TVs like this, and I just periodically check my phone. And once a minute passes, then I start my next set. So, because I want to maximize the time that I'm at the gym, I don't want to be fucking looking at my phone, looking through Instagram, and then be like, oh fuck, 3 minutes went by.
Rich not listening to music at the gym is the same guy that puts his milk in before he puts his cereal in, like Al B.
I will admit, sometimes I always have my headphones on me, but sometimes there are days where I just sit there and listen to the sounds of the gym.
You got to be able to self-govern yourself in all aspects of life, not just the supermarket.
I have two more.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Two more. You are a culprit of this.
I might be.
And
I don't know.
You're the guy that gets up when the plane lands.
I've done it once.
You say you do it, and you're like, fuck it, I do it. I'll do it. And you're proud of it.
Once. I did it once.
When you're in row,
when you're trying to
I don't know.
Fair
enough. If it's a connector that you're like, oh, fuck, I got 20 minutes, that's one thing. And then you can tell the people around you, maybe do a little briefing like, hey, excuse me, everybody. I got to catch a connector, and it's in like 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm going to jet out of here.
I've done it once, but I'll tell you what. I do have the urge to do it because I don't like waiting around everyone in their fucking lackadaisical, taking forever to get off the plane sort of vibe.
But then sit in first class. If you're in row 18 and you're in the middle, if you're in the middle seat in row 18,
but I'm not that guy.
And you're crouched up in your seat and your head is hitting the little fans, and you're like, come on, we out of here.
I've done it, but
let's go.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah, don't do that.
It is a bad look.
And another one. At the gas station, I think I saw someone put this down, but I wrote this down also. At the gas station, don't be the guy that pulls up to the pump, pumps your gas, leaves your car there, then to go inside and do a little shopping. Like if you need to get if you need to get a Gatorade or you need to get a pack of gum,
Pull into the spot.
yeah, don't leave your car at the pump. The only exception would be if you're in the middle of nowhere and it's an empty gas station and there's like 10 available pumps. But
That could cause a fight, and here's why.
Yeah.
The only another exception could be you're there and you went, because sometimes it says see the cashier.
Yeah, no, that's
but
fair.
you went to pay. But some guy could assume that you went there for a little.
No,
what if I pick up a
that's fair.
Gatorade along the way?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm saying like,
But someone could get mad about that.
if you're at Buc-ee's in New Braunfels, Texas, and there's 60 pumps and there's no way you're blocking anyone, that's one thing. But if you're on the corner of Ventura and you could see there's like 3 people trying to pull in and it's a crowded intersection, don't be the guy that's like, all right, I filled up my car. Oh, let me go get some gum and Gatorade. I'll be back in a minute. Like, you're a dick. And as Spot always says, pull forward if you can to that next pump, because otherwise you're holding up a line. Then people got to go around you, or gas station etiquette.
Self-governing. Let's all be better. Let's be respectful. And I'm going to end it on a question. Again, a reminder and a question. Self-govern. Be respectful. Be better. All of us. But what do you say? How do you respectfully address it if you see someone incapable of self-governing? Because you know what you're going to get. Hey, man, why do you leave the cart here? Why don't you mind your fucking business? You know what I mean?
You can't
that's what you're
fix
gonna
everybody,
get.
buddy. Can't fix everybody.
Then how do you?
It's just
You don't address it.
No, you can't.
Even if it affects you.
What are you gonna do?
That cart just to hit your car. It just rolled and hit your.
What are you
You know what I
gonna
mean?
do?
Like, or you're the guy who thought leaving weights was okay. It's not. So that's why you have to have these discussions.
Yeah, it's
So you mind your business?
You got to. Well, unfortunately, it's the truth, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna fight some guy, and then all of a sudden
What if
he
your neighbor was incapable of self-governing the
stabbed
curb appeal of their house?
Listen, man, I think if you're trying to sell your house, I think you have every right to go up to that person and be like, honestly, listen, if I was trying to sell my house, and I'm being serious, if my neighbor that was in eyesight, like on either side of me or across the street, was a disaster, I wouldn't, hey, how are you? Yeah, we're selling the house across the street. Just for property value purposes, I'm willing, I would love to pay to have a landscaper come here and straighten up. You got to you might have to do that if
There are ways.
Yeah, there are ways to do this, but I'm telling you, that bothers me a lot. I see a lot of beautiful houses in neighborhoods, and I'm like, dude, on the walk from Spots to your house, right? There was one corner house
Still there. Same thing.
that if cleaned up, that's probably like a $2 million house. But it's got fucking weeds and fucking broken fence and everything. I'm like, this is just
Well, it's
fucking
condemned. And I think they found a hobo living in it, so they really barred it up. It's been like that for years. But yeah, it does bring down the value. It's an eyesore. Don't be the eyesore in life.
Yeah,
It's Covino and Rich. Self-governing.
And don't perpetuate jerk offs to fight. So I think sometimes when you see people not self-governing, you just got to chalk it up to like, some people just stink.
And a shout out to Albertsons supermarket.
Oh.
Because there's one in Idaho, but it's a
Albertsons.
super Albertsons. Because I know it's just a regular supermarket,
There's an Albertsons
according to Jordan,
on,
but there's like super duper ones that are like next level. Like, if you're amazed by a supermarket, it's got to be next level amazing. You know, because it's just a fucking supermarket. Some of them are beautiful. You're like, whoa.
on Balboa.
There's one around here. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's
But
one-
There's one in
around
Idaho. I went to.
There's one
I'm
around
like,
here. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. It was 2 levels.
Well, if you're going to give shout outs, then I promise you.
By the way, at Albertsons,
People are going to give.
shopping. They're self-returning shopping carts.
Oh, wow. They
I'm just
like
kidding.
robots.
Yeah.
I saw one of those, by the way.
They should-
the other
No,
day on the
get
street.
outta here.
One of those, like, it's like, it was
I made that up.
No, not like I'm a robot. I saw like a, like, you know what guys would push like Italian ices around in?
Yeah.
Like a little push cart type of thing?
Yeah.
I saw one with a light on it going down the street, like delivering something. And they're like, what? Well, anyway, I said people are going to give a shout out to wrap this up. Anyone in the South? HEB. If you've never been to an HEB, it's like a supermarket. Next level. Herbert E. Butts, bro. Herbert E. Boots. All right, dinner with Zito, self-governing. Oh, we outlasted another duo. Did you see DeSuze and Mero broke up?
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've outlasted yet another duo.
The news alert.
Their Showtime show got canceled, not renewed, and they decided to go their separate ways. So Covino and Rich outlasting yet
Who's the
another duo.
Who's the Covino and who's the Rich?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really.
We've interviewed them. We've had them on our show.
Yeah.
There's some great duos. Ock and Brock are some of my favorites. They're
Ock
boxing
and Brock
guys.
are great.
Oh, does that mean there's a room for a bro duo
Weenie in the butt.
out there?
There's one less bro duo for us to compete with, Spot.
Yeah, they're going down.
Bro duos.
Can we get a Showtime show?
Here's the thing.
There's an opening
Not
for a bro duo.
Not edgy enough.
No bro trios.
They're very urban. You know what I mean? That's why we got to hang this up in the background.
Yeah. You got to lean into your Vato, and I got to lean into I should become super white
Higher
Republican
the
guy.
socks, the downer the food.
I should be super white Republican. I should go all Ben Shapiro, and you should go all Vato. We need to be more polarizing. We should be less regular guys. I'm like a Ben Shapiro, super fucking weirdo. And you should be like, yo, Vato, why you do that?
What I do?
You should be openly racist. Really throw people for a loop. Spot, really? Yeah, Spot works at Sesame Place. Did you see that story?
Mm-mm.
Sesame Place, where I promise.
I'm going to transition. I'll take that route.
Perfect. Are you going to keep your beard, though? You can be a bearded woman.
Spot already
I'll be the woman in.
Spot could be
by the way,
Greatest Showman.
News alert! I finally watched The Greatest Showman.
And?
No way.
I thought it was very, very well done and enjoyable.
Good.
It's not the greatest movie ever, but I really
I feel
enjoyed it.
maybe you missed the window, because I think it was one of the greatest
movies. I
movies.
also thought the way they positioned it, they made it seem like Zendaya had a really much bigger role than she did.
That's true, because she's a big star at that moment.
Yeah, but Zendaya, but Zac Efron.
How impressed were you with Zac Efron's...
Hugh Jackman, my God.
I mean, Hugh Jackman.
That man.
He is the Greatest Showman.
He is the Greatest Showman.
But Spot, you weren't a little impressed with oh yeah, that's right. Zac Efron is really, he could sing and dance and everything.
He was
you
in
forget.
High School Musical.
I know, but you forget that sometimes because he's a grown-up hunk now. But
Yeah.
Efron, I was very impressed with his moves.
But Hugh Jackman, great. What's her name? I still is annoying to me. Michelle Williams is just really annoying to me.
But the bearded woman, what's her name? Kiala Seals, or you know what I'm talking about? The
How could I forget?
what's her name? Is it I don't know.
I'm not shouting her out right now.
Kiala Seals.
It's your job to know.
All right.
But yeah, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like the greatest show, but it was good. It was like the goodest show.
I think it was the great. Maybe it was the Great Showman, not the greatest.
Yeah, the great show.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I enjoyed it.
Back to if you grew up on the East Coast, how many times did your family go to Sesame Place?
Never.
My family went at least 10 times. I feel like we were a Sesame Place family.
0.0.
But then again, Spot,
We always went to the Jersey Shore.
I could go over every amusement park, and I feel like it's not just Sesame. My family lived at Hershey Park.
Yeah, well, because you love taking the Hershey Highway.
Yeah, Hershey Park, Dorney Park,
And Wild Water Kingdom.
yeah.
Which went to Dorky Park.
I went to Gorky Park. I followed the Moskwa.
We had
Six Flags.
as Covino knows, Scotch Plains, New Jersey, my hometown, is also the home of Beaucraft Amusement Park. So we satisfied the need for an amusement park
with
by
bike little
crossing
rides.
Route 22.
Yeah, you know what it was?
Rides,
Yeah.
but arcades,
Yeah,
things
but you know what
like
it's
that.
like? People that
Mini golf.
anyone that grew up on Long Island will be like, yeah, do you mean like Nunley's? There was a
was
place
golf and
Nunley's
stuff.
and
Right.
yeah, there was a place on Long Island with little rides. It was called Nunley's. There was another one too. I forgot what it was called, but it's it was, if you grew up on Long Island, it was Adventureland, Six Flags, Sesame Place, Hershey Park, Dorney Park,
Action Park.
Action Park. It was
Land
a
of
hit.
Make-Believe.
Land of Make Believe for
Enchanted
sure.
Forest.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Upstate. The Great
You're-
Escape.
You're naming
Upstate.
all. Yeah, they had the
Great
long,
Adventure. Six
Cat,
Flags.
your family ever take you to the Catskill Game Farm? It's like a little
Maybe.
zoo where you fed the animals and stuff.
It's possible.
The same rotation of like little summer.
How Caverns.
Oh yeah, Indian Echo Caverns. Ever
There's
go to
all
Indian
those
Echo Caverns?
Touristy little things to go to.
Anyway, Sesame Place was in heavy birtation in my family. We probably went every other year. Maybe realistically 5 times probably in my childhood. And they're under fire. It was all over TMZ today that Rosita, the character, and this is not one time, I think multiple times, they're saying the characters are shunning little black kids. Like pushing away the little minority kids and only taking pictures of the little white kids. and there's like video of it on TMZ, and they're like, "Yo, Action Park is not the only theme park that's going to be closed down." They're saying Sesame Place is under fire and lawsuits in the making.
So off-brand because Sesame Street
is inclusive.
Was one of the first, like most inclusive shows on TV. That took pride in that.
Sesame Place is apologizing after a mother claims a character at the park blatantly ignored her children. This video on Instagram has nearly 500,000 views. The mother posted it on Saturday and says she believes the incident is racially motivated. Sesame Place released a statement this evening saying, in part, "We sincerely apologize to the family for their experience on Saturday. We know that it's not okay. We are taking actions to do better. We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests."
It could be that he just didn't see them or moved along, right?
Is it automatically racism?
That's a great question. That's why I brought it up, Spot. That's why I brought it up.
really know. Why is it automatically racist?
And by the way, let me add one in there. Oh, Bill Jackson brought up the Long Island Game Farm. You may have gone there once in your childhood. Little petting zoo.
It's possible.
Come on.
Little petting zoo.
By the way, there's
Why is it
breaking news.
automatically
I don't know how
racism?
serious this is, but Kevin Cedarholm just posted this. Boulder City responding to Hoover Dam explosions.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The Boulder City Fire Department is en route now. This is breaking news. To the Hoover Dam. Explosions have been reported. There's photos of it.
While you call that up, I want to confirm something Mauser said. I did get ignored
No
by
further information is available at this time.
I did get ignored by Pinocchio once at Disney because I bent over and I said, "Lie to me." To a Hoover Dam explosion, huh?
There are explosions.
They make it sound like
from the Hoover Dam
exploded.
Yeah, I thought any minute now, Spot, we were gonna have like water outside this house.
I mean,
yeah, but what happened?
I agree with Stu Hotwagner.
I mean, there's a lot of equipment there.
Yeah, no, you're right. This is not like a dam exploding and water's going everywhere. So not that it's a non-story. I'm sure it's still a story, but you know, it's not like the dam exploded.
Back to Sesame Street.
Stu Hotwagner said, "It feels like a non-story," and Stu is a very liberal fella. He's
I don't know. He does shake his hand like no to the kids,
but
maybe
hold on.
it's because they're not
the parade's got to move on, maybe, right?
I don't know.
Stu said that it's sort of the same as like you're at a game or something, and your kid waves to the mascot, and the mascot doesn't wave back. Are you gonna be like, "Mr. Met's racist"? And by the way, I realized last night they did all the mascots came out, and the Yankees never had a mascot, huh? Corny for an old team like that.
They had a mascot.
Who was their mascot?
They had some like stupid dog that would wear a Yankees uniform.
Okay. They just did away with it.
They had Freddie Saez, the old guy with the weird eye that would bang the pan.
He was the mascot, yeah.
Just nothing that ever stuck or was a big deal. Nothing's bigger than the
I do think Mr. Met. Philly Fanatic's probably the coolest mascot.
It's famous.
And I like Mr. Met.
Mr. Met's cool. I like Mr. Met. Racism, a big topic of discussion in the Derek Jeter story, the captain. Check that out. Part 1 premiered yesterday after Home Run Derby.
I'm gonna watch tonight.
Part 2 is on Thursday. You know, here's a kid that was
Hold on.
half black, half white.
More video coming in from the Hoover Dam.
Oh, really? No way. This actual footage from the Hoover Dam?
Oh no.
My God. Oh no.
No!
Explosion!
Oh God.
What movie is this from?
Oh no.
Superman. I think the best Hoover Dam scene in an action movie.
San Andreas.
San Andreas might be the best one.
I was just watching that one too.
That was damn good. That's when doesn't the person like run at the last minute that gets sucked in, right? Yeah. Paul Giamatti, yeah.
Well, for people not watching,
Look, he throws the girl, but he's like, no!
it's nothing like this.
No.
You don't think
As
so?
of now,
There it goes.
it looks like a significant explosion, but nothing that's going to take down the dam.
Live feed from the Hoover Dam.
By the way, I want to discuss something else.
I have a question. How is there still a lot of water at the Hoover Dam, or is it significantly reduced based on droughts?
I don't know. Look at my garage and all the water Sarah bought yesterday based on her mom's text. Don't worry, guys. I have plenty of water for everyone.
Good. That's where I'm coming. Screw the Union Water Tower. This is our new meeting spot.
Now, I think in life you have to be able to see both sides of the coin. And that's what we try to do here on the Covino and Rich show. Like when we were discussing paternity leave, Jeff McNeil at the Mets, I could see both sides. Yeah, he has to be there as a good dad. I never said he shouldn't be there as a good dad. But you can also see how fans could be upset. How could you not see how fans are selfish? And who cares if their grandpa died? You want them to play as soon as possible. You have to be understanding.
I agree, but I think
right, that life is life. But as a fan, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's an old school bonehead fan. I think any newer fan, as we found out, it's like people realize life is more important than stupid baseball. I really do. I think more and more.
Stupid baseball. It's their job, just like anyone else's.
Yeah, but everyone else gets paternity leave off for a while,
and they also get lots and lots of money to play a game.
So
but it's their job.
Money doesn't matter.
It does matter. That's why Juan Soto said no thanks to $400 fucking million.
No, but money doesn't matter. Like it's not like your family counts less because you make money.
Anyway, it's not a one-sided thing just because this is a new age pussy fucking way of thinking. That doesn't make it right. There's two sides to the story. There's always a flip side to the coin. But in today's world, if you don't agree with one side, you're like the worst guy ever. But it's like, well, how do you have a fair discussion if you're not going to talk about all sides? Now, this story, to me, it's very lighthearted and fun. I'm not trying to get serious. This is a fun story. But there's two sides to the story, and I very much see both sides. I really do. Now, I lean one way like a cholo on a Taco Tuesday, but I do see both sides. There's a viral trend on social media, and it's parents going up to their kids. So pay attention. It's kind of confusing, but not really. Okay. A lot of you have seen it already. Rich, you've seen it, guaranteed. Parents go up to their kids, and they say, hey, get your shoes on. Let's go. The neighbor outside wants to fight me, and their kid, you're going to have, if their kid jumps in, you have to fight the kid.
I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen this?
No.
So hold on. Here's the thing. You're getting a mixed reaction. So you're basically just trying to see what your kid does in this reaction. Hey, the neighbor or whoever, right? Mm-hmm. Whoever. They want to fight me. If their kid jumps in, you got to fight their kid. Let's go.
That is great.
Right. So here's what you're getting, though. You're getting kids. They're in the middle of their video game or whatever, and they're like, what? You're going to have to fight. And they're like, and you see some kids that are like, let's go. But then
funny.
there's other kids, right?
Yeah.
That are like, you're going to what? No. And then it becomes like a very cruel thing. Now, I got to tell you, I had seen this trend, and then my sister Grace had happened to see it. And she was like, I did this to James, my nephew.
And James was probably like,
James was so game that it was hilarious. She told me the whole story.
That's fantastic.
Right? She goes, James got up. He's like, all right, let me get my shoes. And she's like, you ready to fight? He's like, yeah. And she was like, so she was laughing at him. Show the video of this one kid that I saw yesterday. There's millions of videos. This is just one I happened to see to give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
That's right. Let's get ready right now to go outside. Because your Theo, he says he's going to bring Jacob. So he said he wants to fight me one-on-one. He wants to fight you one-on-one. Jacob wants to fight you. Come on, let's go. You ready? Yeah. He says he wants to fight right now. Jacob wants to fight you. And Caesar's coming, so get ready to put your shoes on.
Okay.
what a kid.
He didn't even think twice.
Got his dad's back.
Let me put my shoes on.
He just needs to put his shoes
Let's
on.
go.
He's got to stay ready.
Dude, you see lots of this.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? You ready? Yeah, Bobby? What are you going to do?
Yo, I'm gonna kick his ass.
Yeah, baby?
Yeah.
I'm just joking with you, baby. Give me a kiss. I love you.
But he was ready to go. Right? It's cute.
That's cute.
Now,
man.
again, what I find to be
kid
cute, what I found this to be super cute too, because the way my sister described it was exactly like that. My nephew was like, yeah, let's go. You're going to fuck with my mom? Let's go. I'm ready to fight whoever this kid is.
I agree with Marquez. I think that kid could beat me up.
Oh, it's so
He was
great.
ready. He was like, yo,
It's
let's go.
so cute because it's so innocent, and you see how kids react. But on the flip side, it's becoming controversial because parents are also posting these kids who were like crying about it, and it's like now you're antagonizing.
Stop being
the
a little
kids.
Sally. Come on.
I see both sides.
No,
I'm on side. I think it's cute
I'm on
and
side.
funny.
It's funny.
But
I'm on side.
there's also very concerned parents who are very outspoken that are saying, yeah, this is cruel because you're sort of torturing kids and antagonizing them and pushing their buttons for the sake of social media likes. You know, it's exploiting them when, you know, you're promoting violence. You're encouraging violence. And you're also teaching them a lesson that violence is the answer. I'm going to go fight somebody. I need you to fight me too if their kid jumps in. So I see that. I do. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't mean I agree with it. But at least I have the ability to see this
I love
shit.
this trend. I see the other side of people saying like, well, you're giving a kid anxiety and they don't want to fight and violence is never the answer. But I get that. But why can't we? I'll give you a great example. I'm not a damaged adult. And one of the pictures that's like, you know how you always talk about the same family photos that pop up in the Covino family household, like you in a sink or like your dad with a silly haircut. There's always the same photos that pop up. There's a photo of my dad holding a little toy hammer, like a little wooden hammer, and I'm hysterical. Apparently, like the whole joke was every time my dad took away this hammer, I would flip out. So was that my dad torturing me?
Teasing kids was fun. But again,
being like,
it's
Emmy,
a different time.
Emmy, what are you? Are you a kid or a monkey? I'm a kid. No, I think you're a monkey. I'm not a monkey. Like, that's what I love to do.
Love that. Yeah, that's a great game.
Emmy, I think you got poop on your head. I don't have poop on my head. Mommy, I think Emmy has poop on her head.
You. Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
So you can't fucking toy around and have fun with your kids?
It's the best.
Come on.
But I'm telling you, I'm just telling you the story.
I think my dad, you think of my dad's personality. My dad was the king of probably like, hey, Richie, like just messing with kids.
I got to tell you, though, I am more impressed. Like if I see a kid upset because their parent is going to fight, I relate to that because I'm not sure how I would have reacted. Remember, I'm Mr. Milquetoast. When I was a kid, I'm like, what, Mom, you're fighting? I used to see my mom fight people and I hated it.
Physically?
Yeah. So I'm like, I can't imagine. I probably feel like I don't want to get involved in this in your crazy fight.
Covino's mom
I'm a peaceful boy.
Covino's mom beat kids in the neighborhood with a wiffle ball bat because they were mean to Steve.
So
yeah,
I could see it.
Dumbass.
But I gotta say, I am so touched and proud of these so many little kids are like, let's effing go.
Now, are you
Someone's
proud of
messing
that?
with my,
I agree.
I'm touched by it.
No,
I
I
think it's
agree.
great. And it's so innocent and
I
cute.
agree that there's something about like, I love my family and I'm a kid.
Tacos forever.
But there's a part of me that I feel like the flip side, people will say, it's nothing to be proud. Here's where my argument is. I guarantee people would say, that's nothing to be proud of. Like your kid's ready to fight. That's where the other side, I bet you, would say, if someone said, man, look what my kid did. I'm so proud of him. You're proud that your 8-year-old would fight? What type of parent are you?
Well, it's the kid fighting rage of 2022.
I love it.
I've seen it over and over again, and it got to my sister, so I imagine that a lot of people have seen this, and I was proud of my little nephew, James.
What do you think Melody would do? She's a 12-year-old girl. What if you like, Melody, the neighbor wants to fight me, and they said their kid wants to fight you?
She would have a critical level of thinking to be
what
like,
did you do, Dad? And run away.
Like, you know, she's 12 and very intelligent. She would have been like, wait, what?
You gotta go now, Melody.
You're gonna get arrested. This is terrible. You know, she's gonna be ahead of that game. These kids are a little younger, right?
That's true.
So they're just like, yeah, I got your back. Let's go. And it's endearing. It's cute. But people are taking it, of course, next level because there's two sides to the story. Now, there's another rage.
It's kind of, Andrew said, it's kind of messed up, but so minorly messed up that anyone making a stink about it really is a big pussy.
Nice to hear. You know what? Andrew Hart, if he says that, I'm going to have to say then, yeah, lighten up a little bit.
Jason wants to explore how tough your mom is. So your mom, we know the wiffle ball story, but your mom was known to throw down here and there. Like
I saw my mom pregnant. This isn't a proud story, but I saw my mom pregnant.
It should be.
Kick down a door.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What?
And it was fucking rolling.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
So my mom was definitely a fucking maniac person. But she was young, right? She was in her 20s.
It's funny.
That's how you chalk it up. She's a passionate woman. Hey, as my dad would say.
Yeah, that's why I love her. She's a good mother. Passionate woman.
Yeah, she got a lot of fire.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
She's spicy.
She ain't no punk.
She got some
tell you
spice in the bedroom.
So,
sorry.
I think Ben might be like, Dad, stay behind. I got both of them.
He's still too little, though. He's in diapers
Yeah.
still.
No, Ben is I'm not sure if Ben's a lover or a fighter because you know how people like to do this bullshit like boys and girls aren't different. Let me tell you how different they are. My daughter is like the sweetest, delicate, beautiful, kind little girl. Ben, we're having an issue starting like now. He's like hitting. Like if he doesn't get what he wants, like he wants to like, he's a boy. He jumps off of shit aimlessly and he's dangerous. Like even in our pool, they both got their swimmies on. They're about to, they're going to take swim lessons soon. But like Emmy's very like careful, like Dad, I'll never go anywhere without you. Like very careful. Ben's one we got to keep our eyes on. He's a maniac.
What type of kid were you? If Greg walked in, right, and he said, "Oh, Richie, Mr. Grumpelstein says he wants to fight me. If Marky Grumpelstein jumps in, you're gonna have to fight him. Let's go."
Maybe I was a big pussy. I don't know. I don't know.
That's why I'm not sure. At that stage, like I grew into my rage, right? Because I felt like I was a good kid and life was not always fair, and I'm angry about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, fuck everybody. As a kid, I'm not sure I would have been as game as these little kids. I really don't. Spy, you would have been like, all right, let's go, Phyllis, we're in it.
No, you're like, what?
I'd be like, I'm laying in
what if your mom came back from work and because Spot's mom worked at
I really don't know.
Spot, your mom worked at the police station, right?
Yeah.
What if your mom came back and she's like, someone gave me some strife at the police station. They want to fight me, but you're going to fight their son.
They have a little 10-year-old too. If he fights, you got to fight him.
Spot would be like, can't James or Ed do it?
James takes karate. Get him.
That's why I respect it, man. So many of these kids were like, yeah, I'm defending my parent. Let's go.
Well, I mean,
so funny.
Is it a pillow fight or a tickle fight? No, it's a fight.
By the way, on a sad note, you know that little kid that does all those videos with his dad? That little kid that reenacts movie scenes and with his dad, a little Hispanic kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or maybe it's an old story, but that guy came down with terminal colon cancer. The dad.
Christ.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, that's the worst story. Everybody loves this little social media kid and his dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, another trend. I'm giving you a trend, trying to open it up to discussions here. There's something, I'm telling you, I could sense these trends. I know how algorithms work, bro. But I'm seeing more and more of these things. They've always been there, but now it's like more of a, hey, that went viral, so let me share my video. That's kind of how it happens. It's the piñata trend of 2022. And
I saw 2 videos, so I'm with you in that.
Every household probably has their collection of, or Hispanic family has their video of piñata fails.
It's an interesting one because Covino, you might be onto something because I recently saw 2 different piñata fails, and I'm wondering, is this the start of the piñata trend? Because what's the coincidence that we both saw these videos?
So one went extremely viral, and it's like so ridiculous. It's like if you ever grew up, ever attending a Mexican party, you know to back the fuck up. But this old white lady just didn't ever see this before.
Make a circle.
There's someone swinging blindfolded at the piñata, and I had one at every birthday party growing up. It was like, oh, he's Mexican. Everyone was excited about it.
Get him a piñata.
Yeah, it was the only real, dope Mexican thing that we did at every one of my birthday parties growing up. That sort of explained why I was a little different, I guess. He has piñatas at his party, and I loved it, and every kid in the neighborhood loved it. But everybody knew that someone was potentially going to get whacked. And I'm sure every party has a story of this. There's this old lady, and she comes out of her shoe to make sure the lady swinging the bat is okay or something. Sure enough, hilarity ensues.
I mean, thank God it's a wiffle ball bat and not like a wooden stick.
It's like a plastic bat, but still.
I mean, I saw this video, and the whole time I'm like, oh, come on. Back up. What? Why? What?
Why?
And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe they deserve it. Dummies.
It's usually a dumb little kid just running across or trying to get some candy while someone's still swinging. Because again, if you don't know, a piñata, you're raising it up and down, trying to make the person swing and miss, and then the person's usually blindfolded. Supposed to be.
I have like 2 illogical fears when I
definitely saw cousins get hit in the head with bats.
When I've played sports, I have 2 illogical fears, and you could say they're not that illogical. For some reason, anytime I've ever gone ice skating with like a girlfriend or Sarah, anyone, I've every winter, maybe every couple of years, I'll go ice skating. The idea of falling and having someone skate over my fingers is always like I don't know why. You don't
Final Destination
listen,
shit.
you don't hear it happen often, but in my mind, I'm like, every time I'm ice skating, my first thought is like, if I fall, what if someone skates over my hand
or your neck?
And I play softball multiple times a week, and I'm always like, every time I see someone warming up and swinging, I'm like, some idiot's gonna walk by them not paying attention and just get hit from like a warm up swing in like the on deck circle.
Yeah.
And you don't see those things a lot, so thank God, knock on wood. But
before we show you this clip, P10 said, "Who didn't have piñatas for their birthday?"
I never did.
No one in my neighborhoods ever had them except for me.
Maybe I had like one piñata at some part, but it wasn't piñatas. No,
not a plethora.
No. Did you have piñatas?
I had a plethora of piñatas.
You say a plethora?
You don't even know what a plethora is.
Is it cultural appropriation for a white kid to have a piñata?
No, my kids love piñatas. My niece had a piñata.
Yeah, piñatas are great.
Birthday. Kids love piñatas.
Rich would always play pin the tail on the hockey.
Well, because now they have, for kids' parties, they have the safety ones where you just pull the ribbons.
Yeah.
So you're not swinging a bat blindly amongst a bunch of kids.
Watch this dumbass old lady.
Oh, man.
It's like honestly, in a terrible way, she kind of deserved this.
I agree. The fact that she's not hurt makes me think that she deserves this.
There's an older person. I think that's an older person
Seems
swinging,
like it,
blindfolded, and then this old lady.
Well, it's an older person. You know what? Look at the piñata. The piñata is a wine bottle. So it must be some type of anniversary or a baby shower or something.
And this has gone viral. But what is the other lady
wedding
thinking?
shower?
You assume that it's always the person who's swinging is the star of the party.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess like a bridal shower.
But there's usually a rotation, though, right? Everyone gets a shot.
Yeah, but I think the main person gets the swing.
Yeah.
So play the spot. Have you seen this?
I have, yeah.
So that she's swinging, she's hitting the string. She's not even hitting it. So she knocks it down, kind of.
But
so this
not
other old lady goes to pick up the piñata or something. So,
boom!
So sorry,
RBI double in the gap.
Man, he really leaned into that, or she leaned into that.
Of course, because that's how it works. Like, you know that's going to happen. So an older lady, like, what is she doing?
All right, Rebecca, stop swinging. But wait, hold on.
So guess what? The woman, if you're not watching, the woman swings, but she doesn't hit the piñata. She hits the old lady coming in to stick her nose into the whole scene for no reason.
It's great
And
because
she's down. Oh, she's up again.
And then,
she's down.
because
she's up again.
this has gone extremely viral, right? Where the woman, and then she's leveled onto the floor. Because this happens, because this dumb lady happens. I saw on Sports Center today.
Yeah, they posted this one.
These little kids, and it's sort of like a magical, like a moment from the gods, where this kid is swinging recklessly, and somehow all the kids bend down at the perfect time to pick up the candy, so none of them get hit.
I've seen this where you ever see a baseball clip where a guy steals home, but the batter doesn't get the signal, and somehow miraculously the swing happened. I've seen like some really close calls.
While I pull this up, take a call from your mom.
Oh, my mom? Is your mom going to deny that she was a wild woman?
No. She's a wild woman. She knows it.
Hi, Ted.
She's probably calling about piñatas.
Hey.
You crazy? No, seriously. I'm going to deny that I was a tough woman? You're out of your mind. Serious? I didn't take crap from anybody, but I'll tell you what. Let me tell you a story. People fail to realize that there's a lot of cultural differences when it comes to the opinions on this, because I'm going to tell you a story. I had two older brothers that my mom and dad were working most of the time, so I grew up with two older brothers. They actually would put boxing gloves on me and place bets on me to fight their friends' brothers. Some of them were older than me. And guess what? I used to win all the time.
So you were in a.
My uncle was the Black Rooster.
Wait, hold on, Ted. You were like in an underground neighborhood boxing ring.
In my house, no, they would place bets. They would sit there, and I would box with the guys. I would get punched in the face, everything. I was a kid. I would say I was less than 7 years old, 5 to 6, and all that. But I won every fight. And you know what? It helped me take a good punch to the face. I wasn't afraid of anybody. I wasn't afraid of nothing. And guess what, though? In this day and age, I would never, ever, ever encourage that because there's no such thing as a fair fight anymore. You beat somebody up or you threaten somebody, they'll shoot you in the head in a minute.
But
and I don't think it was good because if my parents knew about that, they would have kicked them in the ass.
Yeah, but it
They
is
used
cultural
to
differences.
Get a kick out of
What
it. But
Mexican
I-
household?
It made me very, very strong, and I would never start a fight. I would never. But I would be ready to defend myself if somebody ever did. Now I'm an old hag. Even my brother has to say, "Hey, you can't say that anymore. Somebody's going to kill you now." But I calmed down over the years. But as a teenager, I was really. But like I said, I would not encourage
you were in a
to
fight
do
club
that
like you were Brad Pitt.
nowadays.
Yeah, but think
you
about
know
it.
what?
Mexican
You don't
family,
wanna
they didn't
raise a
care.
friggin' weenie. I always taught my kids. I didn't want my kids to go through that. That's horrible. I agree. Nobody should be subjected to that.
I want to hear about her kicking down the door.
If you are bullied, be prepared.
Yeah, why did you kick down a door when you were pregnant? I don't remember.
I remember that only because when he brought it up, the neighbor downstairs from my mom was insulting my brothers or something and said something about a family member of mine. But when you think about it, how stupid was that? I acted in it on impulse. It was dumb. I could have got hurt. I was pregnant.
So you just went down and kicked in their door?
I calmed down a
she
lot
karate
over the
kicked
years,
that shit,
you know?
dude. Yeah. Hey, but by the way, back me up too.
Yeah.
Didn't the neighborhood go wild when we would bust out the piñatas?
Oh my God, we had everybody on the whole neighborhood would come because it was few and far between that anyone ever had that or even the store that knew what it was.
And great
You gotta
candy.
remember,
My dad put good candy in
the
here.
country was not infiltrated by Hispanics like it is now.
Yeah.
I tell my son, I was the only Hispanic in my graduating class. And Steven was probably the only Hispanic, but like he said, they probably mistook him for Asian or another minority. It's so funny. But I never realized it, and he never said anything to me as a kid, because what the hell did he know? He didn't care. And that's good that he didn't care. I'm glad.
I noticed it. I absolutely noticed it, but I never cared, right? If anything.
Yeah, never cared.
Right.
No, he had friends, and he had good friends.
Let me ask you this because you got because you're a fiery woman. Has Big Steve ever had to fight someone because you got loud with someone?
I'm not fiery. Believe me, I would sidestep and let people have their ways and be kind. And like I said, I'm an advocate number one of the golden rule. And most people are so selfish now that the prior discussion you guys were having about how people just don't think about the person behind them. Because everybody's so freaking self-centered now.
Yeah.
It's not the same world I grew up in, let me tell you. This is not the same country I grew up in. And I grew up here my whole life.
Has Big Steve ever had a fight?
My father used to teach me, even as a girl, you don't talk down to no one. But like I said, we're not living in the same environment anymore. Everybody's a crazy maniac now.
Yeah, you don't know who
where
you're
you
messing
wouldn't
with.
be taught to expect the unexpected. Now you can look at somebody sideways and they'll shoot you in the head. So I would never encourage that.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I always think about that.
That was the shit. We had the best parties. Steven had the best piñatas. Sometimes we'd get them shipped from Mexico.
You were the best. You were the best kid.
I got legit.
With the best piñatas.
Legit.
They were
piñatas.
imported.
Yeah, because where you didn't get them at Party City
when
back
I tell
then.
you, our whole block would be in our yard for his parties. No wonder he thinks he's so special. It's crazy. But we had the best parties. It was the funny things was the parents. We used to put a lot of money in the piñatas. And the parents would be stepping on the monies and saying to the kids, "Come over here, grab this." It was just so much fun. I miss those days.
Those were great days.
Things were a lot.
Thanks,
things were
Ted.
a lot simpler and nicer then.
That's my mom, Hortensia, everybody.
Hey, Ted.
My mom.
Love you guys. I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too.
Locos. I love that picture that guy sent you.
Don
That's
Art.
such a nice.
Look at that.
Viva los vatos. Viva Mexico.
All right,
Higher,
thank you.
the socks, the
And-
down and the full.
Guys.
I could tell you that she's probably put my dad in a ton of awkward situations throughout the years.
Oh, I bet because I
mean, probably once a week.
Anytime I ever dated a fiery type of woman, my biggest hesitancy was like her mouthing off to some big dude and me being like, "Oh,
You're not going to fight him. I am.
jeez." I dealt with that in my life plenty of times.
So the piñata rage. I want to show you one more clip.
By the way, before you show me the piñata rage,
I would
the
love to know
second
more
clip?
about your piñatas. Your imported pinatas.
But
Camino
made a point that I think we all forget. You go to Party City now, they got Elmo pinatas, they got Bubble Guppy pinatas, they got everything. When we were kids, like, yeah, they didn't have like pinatas on standby.
I was the only kid that had a pinata.
You almost had to like,
party.
I bet you almost had to like special order or find a pinata.
The staple horse pinata, right?
Yeah, like if anything.
Here's what people don't understand about Steve Covino. They really don't understand.
Oh.
No, wait, I want to
They
give you
don't,
one.
because they see me. Oh,
he's
he's a nice fella. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're like half breed, slightly vato guy. But growing up, I felt like I might as well have said I was from Mars. Anytime I said I was Mexican as a little boy, because that's really all I knew. My grandma, my mom, everyone spoke Spanish. And I knew my dad was a white guy. When I said I was Italian, because my dad always just said, "Yeah, I'm Italian." Yeah.
Even though he was half.
I didn't get really much of a reaction because there was lots of Italian kids, right? And Irish kids and white kids. When I said I was Mexican, I might as well have said, "Yeah, my mom's from Mars." Because no one else. I was the only kid. Yeah, I was the only kid. And no one ever understands that because, again, I'm your half-breed guy. I'm your friend. People don't understand that. And that's why I do relate to this Derek Jeter story, too. I don't think anyone really knows what it's like to be, unless you are.
Nobody knows what it's like.
And I'm not saying I'm a minority. I'm saying what it is to be a mixed kid in a way. Because people see you however they want to see you. And that's really how it is. Like Derek Jeter talks about how he was called the N-word, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan's watching like, he doesn't even look black at all. I'm like, well, guess what? A lot of people viewed him as just black. So it doesn't matter what you say. It's a matter of what he is. That's his truth. It doesn't matter what. But people are always going to see you for whatever they want to see you as. And it's weird.
Mexicans in the New York area weren't as popular. Like there were a lot of Puerto
weren't even around.
Ricans, there were a lot of Dominicans. That was the most like Latino culture that we had in the New York area. A lot of Filipinos. I went to school with a lot of Filipinos.
Yeah, same. So people thought I was
people
Filipino.
probably thought you were Filipinos, but like Mexican,
none. Now
was
everywhere.
very rare.
Yeah, none on the East Coast. So again, 2 white for the brown guys, 2 brown for the white guys, 2 sports for the rock guys, 2 rock for the sports guys.
And I grew up in a very cultural household because being Italian, I mean Italian American, but still very Italian. Like my dad spoke Italian.
Yeah, but you were also in a very cultural household because your brother James fucked every type of woman.
Yeah, it was like
and brought home every type.
I'm not even that Mexican.
It's like
I'm
going
not
around Epcot,
right? And I don't even know what that means. I'm not even that Mexican because my mom is Mexican, but growing up, I was the only reference to Mexican that kids in my town knew. So they always viewed me as such because I was the only kid that was even part Mexican.
Yeah.
But it's much different now. So yeah, piñatas, I had them and they were huge. So it's the piñata rage of 2022. Here's the latest clip that went viral, probably only because the other one went so viral.
Your mom must have been so proud of your Subway story.
She was actually. I talked to her yesterday. She was like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't back down. I was like, the moral of that story was sometimes you got to step up because when I stepped up, I faced this guy's fury with courage and put out that fire so fast that he left. He didn't expect me to step up.
But I would have worried about that guy waiting outside with a fucking gun.
I did think about that.
And then was it worth it?
Oh,
it was worth it. No, but I'm saying it was worth it because it worked out in your favor. It's a very scary world we live in now because people. No, but I'm saying you're right because the right thing to do is stick up for yourself. But like your mom said, in today's day and age, people are fucking maniacs. You could have a reasonable debate with someone or argue someone like, hey, like you cut me off, you did this, blah 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 blah. Someone could be like, oh yeah, and then what? Yeah, you're dead.
And not because they're a tough guy, because they're a fucking maniac. Psycho.
You're dead because you fought about a line in Subway. You know, like that
because your beach was being taken over.
I remember I had that little knife on me too. So
fuck you 1,000%. You're on my beach. You're on your beach. Done.
Little Buck. Never don't mess with Little Buck.
If you missed that show yesterday, we talked about a lot of line conflict and confrontations, and Spotty had a beach story. Catch our Patreon from yesterday. So here's the second viral piñata clip.
Yeah, this is
watch this. Little girl swinging. She's hit.
Swing, by the way.
Yeah. Little candy comes, little kids come. Oh, God. The timing's great. Yeah, watch. The candy falls out. The kids go to grab it, and she continues to swing and misses all of them.
all duck at the right point.
That would have hit all three.
God.
How?
It was like something out of a movie. They all just went whoosh.
But dude, I'm telling
Some
you,
Matrix shit.
Right?
anyone that had piñatas growing up, there's always a little kid that got hit in the head with a bat or some shit. Always.
So if we're gonna have piñatas, let's not use an aluminum Little League bat.
So funny, man.
Fair.
I could totally picture my cousin Christian getting hit in the head.
Oh, by the way,
Rest in peace.
yesterday I watched when I was at the Home Run Derby. They don't televise it, but they show the high school kids in between. You've seen this. The high school kids in between the television breaks do the Home Run Derby with aluminum bats.
Yeah.
And
bombs.
It did make me realize I'm not backing down on my stance. But if we ever got a chance to do Home Run Derby at a major league stadium, I could probably hit the ball 380, 400 feet with an aluminum bat. It's the wood bat where I'm like, do I have warning track power or... Yeah, if I pull a couple down the line, for sure. But can I hit the 380 gap? I don't know. Maybe. I think I can.
With an aluminum bat.
No, with an aluminum bat. No, with an aluminum bat, I will easily hit a home run.
Yeah, wooden
but
bat,
if you said,
I don't know.
If you said, Dickie, here's a wooden bat, I know I could pull one down like a 320, 330 line, but I'm like, can I hit a 380 gapper with a wooden bat? I don't know. So that's where the great debate would come in when it comes to, can you hit a home run out of a major league stadium? The answer is, with an aluminum bat, 1,000%. With a wooden bat, I'm going to give it a 50-50 odds. I really do.
Can you hit a piñata and break it with one swing? That's the question.
With a wiffle ball bat, yes.
Because Mexican legends have done this. It's the piñata rage, the piñata fail rage of 2022. Based, if my theory's correct, because of the popularity of these two recent videos, you're going to see more and more. You're going to see Carlos, hey, yo, Hector, you still got that video from 1986? When,
Bring it out.
Remember when we hit our abuelita in the head with the bat? Everyone's going to try to find their so-and-so relative.
I get it. People are going to search for their old piñata videos because it's the
My
rage.
theory is this. You're going to see a lot more of this because they've been popular the past few weeks.
Being that's really hot out, I may actually call your brother-in-law, Chris, because he works with air conditioning and, hey, I love... You know,
Would you invite kids over for a swim?
College football.
There you go. That's how you bring them by.
Yeah, but I don't want to scheme them over here. They're always welcome here anyway. I love Grace and your kid and your niece and nephew.
Tell them to say that Ben wants to fight James, and bring him over and see what happens.
So
that shit is funny.
My house is so perfect during the day. My house like
Ben's gonna
maintains
fuck
like
him
a
up.
cool temperature, and I know it's a big house, and the unit should fit the size. Of this, but even my contractor said, hey, listen, man, in the summer in the valley, it doesn't matter what air conditioning unit you have, you're not going to get your house cool in the middle of the day during some of these days. Because yesterday my thermostat was like 78 the whole day, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just wonder, like, is it because I'm so used to apartment living where it's like 68 no matter what, like you're dealing with a smaller space, like it's always.
Not my hot ass. I'm thinking about get that 3M.
I got a
film that goes over the glass just to keep the sun out.
All right, so you guys are dealing with the same thing, that no matter how much you're cranking the AC, when it's 110 degrees in the valley, you're still like, fucking
my
Jesus.
unit leaks Freon, and my building refuses to replace it, so they just have someone come out and charge the Freon like every other week.
I'll give you an example.
I don't understand why.
I have two sliding doors, right, that face the sun, and two bedroom windows that face the sun.
It's fucking
to use
blazing.
this commercially used 3M film to block the UV rays to keep the heat out.
That's great.
How much do you think that costs?
But they film. Is it a film you put over the windows?
Mm-hmm. Some are tinted, some are not.
To have someone install and do it, maybe $300 to $500.
3,000.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Was that? Did your HOA get the
You might
quote
as
on
well
that?
get an upgraded like.
It's because it's a commercially used product. So
you might as well install like a whole new unit.
That's to keep the sun out of the UV rays, out of the heat out of the condo, because it's so hot. And I'm thinking about it because you're blasting your AC all the time. Essentially, your hope is that it pays for itself to at least keep some of that heat out. But that's a lot of money, man. It's that hot. And my place faces the sun. And it just all day, like, oh, man.
I cranked the shit.
Yeah, call up Chris. That's what he does.
I cranked the shit out of my unit. Hey-o! And in the middle of the... Like,
but that's bad, dude. You're wasting a lot of energy and efficiency, man. You're wasting money as a result.
Sure.
So you got to check that out.
But no, even my contractor was like... I was like, yo, Eric, like, is it supposed to be like... like I put it on like 68 or 70 and it won't go below like 78, 77 in the middle, like in the heat of the middle of the day. It's like, your house is over 3,000 square feet and it's one level. He's like, he goes, yes, it's 110 degrees out. He's like, think in the middle of the day in the valley. He goes, it is what it is. It's a month of the year where it's blazing hot. You just got to deal with it unless you really want to go above and beyond. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I guess you got to just do it.
Well, thank you very much. So, I'd say, here's what I would do. I don't think you're scheming at all. I would say, hey, Chris.
Cancel my order for those chill wells.
Oh, so I could be like,
we're not doing that.
Hey, Grace and Chris, why don't you come over with the kids for? I'll put some burgers on the grill.
No,
hey, Chris, you want to look at my AC unit
with that? Like, hey, I need some help. And I was thinking, tell the kids to bring a bathing suit whenever you got a chance.
Yeah, I'll throw some burgers.
They would love it.
If Chris wants to take a look at the AC unit and situation,
he's the
Grace and the kids come over for dinner.
He loves that shit.
I'm sorry, I need to cancel my order of 30 units. My 2 dumbbells finally came to their senses. Thank you. Okay,
dumbbells.
It's been great. All right, thanks.
30 chill wells?
Oh, were your 2 dumbbells? Thanks, buddy.
Okay. They realized that like water cooling fans aren't going to do it. Yeah.
By the way, thank you for whoever sent us that. You remember the
yes, I know.
The mystery girl H. By the way, I use that little fan in my bedroom at night, and it's great because it's a tiny little. I put it on my nightstand.
I use it every day.
I put it on my nightstand. So thank you.
They exist for a reason, but they don't exist to cool.
No, it's not going to cool the whole room. But I'll be honest, that little fan with the water in it that she gave me is cooler than a regular fan, and I put it on my nightstand and it rotates right there.
It's
I like
cooler
it.
than a regular fan, but not.
Yeah, it's not
for what we need.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But I do like it. I use it every day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh, being that it's so hot, I just want to warn all the women out there. Do you know they had to put out a warning? Women, do not put ice pops up your vagina because the sugar could cause infections. Like, I don't know if like what.
How about up your butthole?
I don't know. Up your butthole's fine.
Oh, okay.
Up your butthole's fine. I know.
Maybe you should try that. You're so hot.
Sarah, it's like 78 in here.
Rich got one of those rocket pops up his ass.
Red, white, and blue, bro. Patriotic.
Tiki Doodle Dandy.
Rich, why is your butthole blue?
None of your business. I don't appreciate you minding your own business.
You either got fucked by a Smurf.
That's what he bought from that motorized ice cream guy.
Wait, hold on.
Weird. Where'd Buffalo Bill's nose go? Ooh!
Up Rich's ass. Rich got a King Cone up there right now.
Let's see.
A drumstick.
Yeah, he does. Keeping cool in the summer.
Someone just asked about a stock update. Did I say? Oh. No, stock market's good today. I don't know what they're asking about. Oh, well, yeah. Kyle said, stock update, Rich. I'm like, why? Well, what's going on? Nothing, really. Stocks are up today. Crypto's way up today, Spot. Did you see that? Your Solana is back to like $50.
Oh, good.
It's almost $50, but
I owe Spot 3 Solana.
Still owe me 3.
3 Solanas.
But I said, can I buy it now while it's cheap? And he wouldn't let me. So.
Why?
I don't know.
He's making you pay premium?
I don't know why he wouldn't
sense.
let me. But anyway. Thank you guys.
Make sure those pops are sugar-free before you stick them up my ass. All right, so hold on. Women warned. Really I now I feel better that I warned women about that. Could I end the show today on Captain Courageous? There's a story that I'm like, geez, this guy. I wonder, you asked me, would your kid go fight for you? Right?
It's a funny question.
By the way, my kid, I don't know if I'm just being jaded because he's my son. Spot, before we get into the final story of the day, can you play the video of Ben? I feel like his laugh, I feel like he's got like the greatest laugh. Like,
no, Skeletor has the greatest laugh.
Until next time.
So Ben might be. Pee Wee Herman's got a better laugh.
Yeah, Pee Wee does have a good laugh. Ben's got like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's an old guy laugh in a little boy's body. Does that make sense?
Old guy laugh.
No, that's not it. I don't know. There's like a weird.
It's like Jim Carrey-ish, but old. But
there's like a weird. There's a weird sound to Ben's laugh. Just yesterday.
By the way, I had a Jim Carrey thought, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Just play Ben's laugh, and then I'll tell you the story of a true hero. And I'm not even joking. We'll wrap on the true hero of the day.
No.
Say Ben.
No.
What's your name? Say Ben.
No.
Say Ben.
No.
What's your name?
Ben.
Ben. Say Ben.
His little like.
It's kind of yuck. It's like
yucky. Yeah, he's like.
He's gonna grow up like to sound like Seth Rogen.
No, I think he's gonna be like Jim Carrey, like father, like son.
That shit's funny, man. So cute.
He comes from a long line of.
But
bozos.
would he fight for you? Is the question.
Ben,
Yeah, he's gonna fight James.
Fight for you.
would you
fight
fight
James.
for me?
And Rich is gonna fight Chris.
The little kid in the playground.
Yeah, ready to kick his ass. Let's go.
Do it. Let's fucking do it.
Dude, how cute was that?
Do you ever think about? I'll give you a great example. Yesterday, I was amazed at Mark Zito, and I know he's a compassionate guy, but remember I told you we saw a guy like rows ahead of us that like was having like heat stroke or something. Black dude in the hoodie. They had an EMT guy down there after a while, but at first it was just people being like, "Hey, we got to get this guy help." Like, I mean, Mark was one of the guys who wanted to like jump into action. I'm like, yeah, no, I know, and I'm always quick to want to try to help, but like immediately Mark was like, "Yo, no one's helping this guy. We should like." I'm like, and then we saw that as he was about to act, we saw like an EMT coming down the stairs.
Here's a tip for hyperthermia. Hyperthermia. First of all, you got to take the fucking hoodie off. Yeah. Ice packs in the hot zones.
Armpits.
So in the armpits and groin.
Okay.
In the back of the neck. Always works. Ice packs. Quick cool down. And
ice pack around this BBC.
Yeah.
All important information, man. By the way, they're trying to certify my daughter on all of these things because she's a junior camp counselor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're offering, hey, do you want to know how to do
it's first
all
aid.
These first aid sort of things? I'm like, you might as well, Melody. That's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Learn it.
It's a great skill to have.
Yeah.
So, last thought of the day is: would you be this heroic? Spot. It's on TMZ. Do you know the story of the fucking pizza delivery guy that ran into a burning building and saved 6 kids while they were sleeping?
I'm not sure I do, but I'd love to hear
there's
about
a
it.
video. There's a video on TMZ that'll make your heart like. So no one passed. No one died.
Mm-hmm.
This guy got apparently an awful cut on his arm to the point where they had to put a tourniquet, and he probably has to have surgery and stuff. It's a pizza delivery guy that was in a neighborhood, saw a house blazed up, and this guy incredibly saved 5 kids from a burning building, ranging from a baby to a teenager. And you see him running out of the building with a 6-year-old. He saved
Nicholas
5 kids.
Bostic. These are the names that
Nicholas
need to be
Bostic
shared.
Needs to be
not crazy whacked out murderers.
Nicholas
These people.
Bostic, a 25-year-old pizza guy.
His middle name is Boom.
Yeah, Nicholas Boom Bostic.
Yeah.
Watch the video, and you're going to be amazed at this. And you know what you're going to say? You're going to say, man, I'd like to think that I would be able to help in a scenario like this, but would you run into a burning building? And you could see his concern. When you'll see in the video.
Oh, wow.
In the video, Covino,
yeah,
he comes out of the burning building.
Severe.
He's got smoke
inhalation.
And he had a gravely
cut his arm.
He gravely cut his arm. So this guy, we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking about
to gravely cut your arm. That must be pretty bad.
I know that.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know. Maybe
That
nerve
sounds-
damage. I don't know.
That sounds terrible.
But they've already, luckily, GoFundMe has already raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay this guy's medical bills. I think this guy deserves a fucking $1 million when it's all said and done. Saved 5
So
kids.
just a regular pizza guy driving around.
Yeah, like
That's amazing.
When he runs out of the building when he runs out of the house with the 6-year-old, you hear him immediately ask the cops like, "What happened to the baby I brought out? Please tell me the baby's fine." Like this guy,
Like the fact that
hero.
he's a pizza delivery guy, like Papa John's needs some good press. They should
donate $1 million
donate,
to
like
this guy.
yeah, or like I don't know. People step up, celebrities here.
Who took the video?
No, it's the cops. It's the aftermath. It's the
Body
fireman's body cam.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Let's
just
see
one.
it,
Yeah. Look at this.
That car right there, somebody pulled in to let them know their house is on fire. I saw him around back. That's the last time
They saw the guy round back. He saw the house on fire.
6-year-old girl and a 23-year-old male still missing in the house somewhere. What do you got? 6-year-old female and a 23-year-old male possibly inside. Guys, come here. Everyone out.
Oh my God.
Are you taking us? That's everybody. Get out. Need medics.
Come with me, man. Come with me. Come with me. We gotta get away from the house. Hey, we gotta get away from the house, okay?
Oh, yeah. Is the baby okay? Please tell me that baby's okay.
Yeah, we're good.
The baby's fine. The 6-year-old.
You're good, dude.
The 6-year-old was the last kid in the house that they couldn't find. He ran into the burning building, found the 6-year-old, and ran out.
Anyone died? Parents or anything?
No one died.
I mean,
Wow. Great story.
there's two sides of this. I mean, it is very heroic, but it's very
Dangerous.
dangerous and
No,
unsafe.
of course. Of
I mean,
course.
you have to realize that the second you step in a burning building, you're giving your life possibly. So, I mean, it's a very nice move.
He saved a few kids, Spot,
Right.
and Mauser knows the story. I saw this part.
Yeah.
They saved a few kids, and then he heard there was still a 6-year-old in the house, and he ran back in.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Johnny from The Outsiders.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? That's how on This Is Us. That's how Milo Ventimiglia died. He ran back into the house one too many times to try to like save the family pet and this and that. And then
reminds
smoke
me of,
inhalation. Smoke inhalation is what gets you in those scenarios. A lot of people think it's probably
heat.
burns and stuff. But
Yeah, it's because you're breathing in the heat, and the heat can burn your insides. And you also have lack of oxygen. Your throat can close up from the heat, so you can start to like not be able to breathe. Yeah. It's risky, so you run on pure adrenaline.
So-
if that drives you in there, do it.
How many kids did he actually save, though?
There was 5 kids in the house.
Fucking jeez, good.
So
good
you know,
job,
I'll tell you what. If there's anyone you say a little prayer or send your wishes to, how about this guy
Good
who's
job.
who? Let's hope the smoke inhalation doesn't. Let's hope he recovers from that, because that's you don't want this guy to have lasting effects. You want him to recover.
He heard nothing, so he didn't know if anyone was in there.
Hey, man.
He heard nothing, so felt that people may be trapped. So he walked through the house where he found 4 kids ranging from 1 to 18. They were sleeping, woke them up, ran to safety.
Then found out there was a
and then one of
6-year-old.
the kids told him that there was a 6-year-old still inside, and he ran back in.
Oh, my God.
Rashawn said it best. Some people are just wired differently.
Yeah.
I
honestly, I don't know. Like in a medical emergency, I would do my best. I would like extricate someone from a vehicle if I could, but like running into a house that's fully engulfed in
Spot.
flames.
I mean,
is
you're the
next
guy
level.
that you've seen.
Next level.
Spot's the guy that's seen like car accidents, and Spot's the guy that runs to the scene. I think we've all tried to do good things like that, but I don't know if I have it. You got your own kids and own family. I don't know if I'm running multiple times back into a burning building. But then again, if someone's like, there's still a 6-year-old in there, like, what the fuck do you do? This guy's a true hero. So let's end on that and say, wish this guy well. What's his name again? Boombastic? Nick, middle name Boombastic. Nick Bostic. And there is a GoFundMe. So if you feel like you want to give this guy,
it's raised $317,000 already.
Yeah.
I agree, Sam. He pulled a Pee Wee Herman. I'll never forget how heroic he was.
When
saving
Pee Wee
those
saved all those animals.
snakes and all the animals at the pet store.
Remember he came out holding all the snakes? Ah!
Yeah.
This guy's a little more heroic.
He has some serious injuries and will need help during his recovery. So it's
Serious deal. Well,
good for him, man.
Shit. On that note,
you just say just a pizza guy.
Someone donated
It's a hero.
$10,000.
Well, you know what?
It's amazing. It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
My
It
prediction
was the right person at the right time, because not everybody would be willing to do that.
My prediction: celebrities get a hold of this, and someone with people with real money start seeing this story go a little more viral. I think this guy's gonna. I'm saying health most important, but I think he'll walk away from this like everything covered, and he'll have a little nest egg. Which, you know what, good people should be rewarded.
This is the kind of shit that you donate money to.
True.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
You know me, I hate GoFundMes, but
This is the one you donate to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, there goes my hero.
That being said, there are people that risk their lives every day. So if you're going to give to this, also donate to your local.
No, of course.
Like a lot of local like EMTs, rescue squads. Like my town rescue squad is volunteer based.
No, of course.
Rely a lot on donations.
But the
Fire
reality
departments
is
rely
these
a lot
people
on donations. Don't ignore your local, because when you need them, you want them to be there for you.
That's true.
And if they don't have the funding, they're not going to be there for you.
All right. Well, on that note, hey, have a great one until tomorrow. We'll see you guys this afternoon.
Pause 2 seconds. Happy birthday to Cindy Porras.
Shout outs?
Fucking Ralph's wife, beautiful wife that we've met on several road trips. Happy birthday, Cindy Porras. Orale, effing Ralph. Cindy Porras, shout out. Happy birthday to you. Shad Showen, what's up, Shad? DB77, Hopeful 19, Mario Wrangle the Dangle. And remember, we're on Fox Sports Radio tonight, 4 to 7 on the West. in for The Odd Couple, in for Oscar Madison and Felix Unger.
Can't wait.
We're in for The Odd Couple tonight on Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com. Tune in. That's 7 on the East.
Cool.
Where'd I get what? This? Oh, Don Art, who sent me that painting. He also made me stickers. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I just noticed
right there. So, guys, thank you. Sorry to interrupt, but shout out to all. We appreciate you. And listen out tonight, foxsportsradio.com.
Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.